and welcome back to more Pathfinder Thornkeep.
Woot.
Yeah. Whew. You guys managed to make it through the two death rooms to some extent. I mean, you guys you guys ran into and promptly out of one, and defeated something in another one, but haven't really taken a good look around either. So,
And
yeah.
I think we decided we were exiting.
Yeah, you guys had decided
Heading to
that you
London
were.
and Exeter.
You guys had decided that you were heading back up and out of the dungeon because a decent amount of you took damage. Uh, Dr. Devino and Pavla had some physical damage.
Your mage is running out of spells.
Magdalena's slowly starting to run out of spells. She took some physical damage. She took some mental damage. It's yeah.
It's been rough.
I have a lot of juice left.
Ah, good.
How much of that juice is blood?
No comment.
Blood is just people juice.
I still have my 5 first level spells, and I think I only used like 2 of. No, I used
Aaron
1
seems
point
to
of
have
my
an
thing.
eldritch being living inside him.
I have a total of 3 spells left.
Okay.
Good. So see, we're well armed. We can totally
Yeah.
take a whole dungeon floor.
It's not a whole dungeon floor, it's just a third of a dungeon floor.
I need a wand of superior sleep.
But yeah, it seemed like you guys were heading back up to you guys's
Secret base.
you guys's base of operations. Is that correct?
I thought we were going back to town.
Well, I mean, our base is essentially...
That is in the same direction.
Either way, we are going away from here.
Yeah. It depends on what you guys want to do. Based on...
Because if we want to procure chlorine and or spell wands...
yes. Yes.
Let us go procure chlorine.
Well,
I mean, I believe that the plan was that we were going to look around and see if there is a way that we can stop the filtration system to working first while we're in this room.
Fair enough.
That's true, now that we're not being attacked.
Yeah, but yeah. I do distinctly remember you guys saying you had left the other way through the room, but...
We were discussing ways to try to do that, but you had intimated to us that it would be dangerous, so this is just the impression that I was given, because there was the potential of imminent danger, that you wanted to play out the scenario in case your fish people murder us all on the way out.
No, what had happened was that was going to be a thing, but Haley casting, Sumiko casting Jolt into the water caused the shadows at the door to run away. So you guys were able to just go from this door back to the canyon room relatively easy.
I mean, if that is the case, then I would like to have rewound and had that be a thing that we could have done.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can take a look around the machinery here. Okay.
Pavla will look at the water wheel.
Yeah. Let's see. To access the water wheel, you would have to be on the ground, but there is a potential that you could do something to stop it. Such as...
Just realized.
It might be... Yeah. You could remove a few things that would cause the whole thing to bust from its casing, but then it might plunge forward and fall. You could...
I mean, that's fine. The state of this room is no skin off Pablo's nose.
Yeah. Well, it's more the idea that the falling machinery might fall on you.
We are in
well,
it
looks like there's what it looks like to me is that the water wheel is on some kind of track with the the thing, so it's more likely to fall into the waterway than it is to fall over to the side.
Yes, it'll fall into the waterway, and then it may or may not roll forward and collapse sideways. And plus, you don't know what else that might undo. You could try to gum it up. You could try to gum up or stop some of the gears and
Well,
just
how
stop
how
turning.
big are you thinking this water wheel is? Because the way I'm looking at it here, it looks like it's a 10 by 5 foot thing.
We only
Water
see part
wheel.
of it though.
Yeah, the water wheel is 10 feet wide,
Mm-hmm.
and it is. Let's
It
see.
looks
Like the spoke part of it. How big is that?
because this
'Cause it-
looks like it's the thing that it turns on, right? So it's at least double this size off the map. Like this looks
Eh.
like the center point on which it is rotating.
Okay, because it's a wheel, it would probably be 10 feet high as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm a moron, I didn't think of that. So it is a pretty big wheel.
Okay.
We have bodies.
You do have
We do.
bodies.
Can I just stuff corpses
But
into the
what
wheel?
would be the point? What would be the point of stopping it?
It would stop churning and filtering the water that is being
Yeah.
sent to other
Yes,
locations.
And the things in there would eventually die because the water's going to stagnate.
Yes, eventually. That doesn't solve our
Yeah.
immediate problem.
Yeah. But
And
it
if we
would
want to poison the water, we would want it to still be moving.
No, not really. Because if
well,
the
if the
water's moving, then
filtration
it'll filter
system-
out the water. That is
yeah,
poison.
so there's the
Poison.
potential that the poison doesn't get to them, whereas if the water is stagnated, we could literally use the poison as like a shield.
Yeah, you would have to toss bodies into the gears from the catwalk, because oddly enough, the catwalk is built so that you do not walk into or can reach out and get caught in the gears, but you can jump into them.
From the side where Pavla is currently standing, could you like feed bodies into the wheel itself?
You definitely could.
Okay.
Would it be possible
How-
just to
Is
break the wheel?
is the
Yeah.
wheel
I
made
said
of
you
what's
could
it made
break-
of?
Because what I can see here on the map is that the central axle of the wheel looks like it's exposed over here.
Oddly enough, the wheel is made of wood.
Oh.
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 Oh. So we could
Oh.
just attack. I could just attack it and break it. Is what you're telling me?
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
depends on how
try
heavy
and
the
take
wood
my
is.
travel. I'm gonna take my traveler's any tool and I'm gonna make a crowbar out of it and see if I can because what it looks to me here is
Careful,
that there's
careful.
I'm going to climb down.
Yeah, it looks to me like there is a central spoke, not a spoke, an axle, and it looks like there's some kind of cap on it on the sides here.
Yeah.
So if you remove the cap, you can then remove the axle, which then means the wheel would be
Well,
off.
Here, let me because I think that's actually just like a.
How fast is
single-
the wheel
a
spinning?
single-
The wheel is spinning at mill wheel speed. Mill wheel speed.
So not
Water is pouring forth from above and is turning it.
so not terribly fast.
But warning to Pavla especially, you are a small person, and a water wheel is an incredibly heavy device.
Well, more of I guess what I'm asking and thinking about is, the doctor is super strong and can make himself huge and give himself more strength. Could I just grab the wheel, stop it from spinning, and have that cause correlating effects of just breaking everything else throughout the system?
I would have you give me a strength check for that, and we would
Okay,
see.
Pavla's gonna move on to the catwalk.
Well, that or just break the thing outright. Like, just
Yeah.
smite it.
Yeah.
At this point, if we're planning on taking a break throughout the day, which I think we're doing for at the very least mental health.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine.
Pavla, you could definitely find a way to remove the axle. Just Yeah, just as I said, if the axle is gone, the water would push the wheel forward. It would roll out of its casing, and then it would risk falling on someone who's next to it.
It would take a lot. Here, for reference.
You could do that. You could also try to shove some. Yeah, you could also try to shove things
How about
into it to
this?
keep it from
How
spinning.
about Mr.
Dr. Devono, you can
Mr.
also.
Devono over here
Mhm.
does his Hulk out thing, grabs onto the wheel. I remove the axle, and he puts it in a safe location.
Oh, actually.
How does that sound?
That's.
Or
how high does your strength score go?
I have rage rounds left and mutate. If I throw everything together, I can get over a 30.
It is entirely possible, and then.
Oh, so basically so basically what you're saying is you take it off. I'll grab the wheel and just throw it off to the side.
Or,
yes.
Yeah, like wrangle it off to the side. I get the image I get in my head is like from Twilight Princess of Link throwing Ganon to the side. It's more like a push rather than a full throw. But yeah, that would work. You would need a disable device and a strength check for that, but it could totally work.
I can do that.
I will. All right. So I will prepare for until like.
Give me just a moment to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yeah, I will give. So basically, I'm gonna time this with Pavla, and I'm gonna talk about her to explain this. That like, let me know like when she's near to like the last moment, and then I'm gonna spend a round to, drink all of my potions. Get ready to Hulk out. Let her do it. Rage, and then grab the thing.
Right.
Let me look at this real quick.
Yeah. So basically, Pavla is coordinating that with you.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the way these channels in this pool are laid out, the pool itself, which again is glowing from something in the center, is about 6 feet deep. The channels are shallower, either feeding into different directions or being fed in the one large channel, and that's significantly shallower. Let's give it about 2 feet.
Okay.
And the water's not particularly fast, so you would be able to do that. At least that's how I am seeing this. How this room is laid out.
Okay.
They gave me a depth for the pool, not the channels.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm ready with my disable device check. I'm going to make that.
Make me the disable device.
All right. That is an 8, but I have a plus something ridiculous 17 to my disable device. So
25.
25.
Well then, yeah, that's enough.
Cool.
So yeah,
I will then attempt.
Pavla has out her any tool and she's like prying the thing off of the axle and she's getting ready to pull it. Or not. Oh, I guess the doctor would have to pull the axle out because that would probably take a bit of strength.
Yeah. So as soon as she gives the signal, the doctor is going to quaff his enlarge extract and drink his mutagen.
Okay, so she pulls the cap off the axle on her engine. She says, "Let it rip!"
All right, cool.
And she runs.
Cool. I rip the axle out.
Great. That is actually not hard. It's going to be that is not actually going to be that hard. You pull the axle out, and as I said, the wheel is now being pushed by the water forward out of its casing. The ticking that was constant in the rooms sort of comes to a halt as you pull the axle out. And now the wheel is moving out of its casing and starting to go under the catwalk.
Cool. I'm just gonna, I guess, try to lift it and throw it onto the thing here at the side.
Okay, make me a strength check.
Well, that's a 2, so that's an 11.
Oh dear. This is heavier than you thought. Yeah. Well, actually, it's either heavier than you thought, or you're having trouble getting a grip because it's wet.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
So what happens?
So what happens is, as you are trying to follow along with it, you're trying to stop it, and one of three things is going to happen. Let me roll percentile.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh no, what's going on?
It starts to teeter in the channel a little bit.
Oh.
You've given, yeah, as you try to manipulate it, and are just having trouble grabbing it, you do exert enough strength that it starts to teeter, and it looks for a second like it's gonna fall towards you, Devino, and then it starts falling the other way.
Okay, question. Was Pavla
Towards
able to get out
Pavla.
of the Was Pavla able to get out of the way? Like here, you place me, where am I at this point?
Because she did
What's
specify
your
that she
speed?
was going to be
Yeah,
getting
you were.
out.
Yeah, you ran as soon as you told him to leave it, so you were running as he was doing the first thing. So, what's your speed? It
My
doesn't matter.
speed
Yeah,
is
you're out of. Yeah, you can be back there.
Okay,
That's
thank
fine.
you.
That's fine. Um, so yes, the wheel falls over away from you, Devino, and smashes onto the stone floor, collapsing in pieces under its own weight.
Cool.
I gave it a 33% chance to fall towards you, away from you, or just roll straight into the pool. I rolled a 36.
Ugh.
1 to 33 would have sent it towards you.
All right, cool. Is
So
the room starting to stop move?
the room has completely stopped.
Hmm.
Sweet.
Without the central mechanism to spin everything, all of the cogs have come to a stop, and the water is just sort of cascading into the channel now.
I have just
But
come to a sudden and infinitely simple realization.
This chamber's about to flood.
That. Um, but very specifically, we've been talking about poison all the time. The kids in the Golden Fire Order, they have an evoker, right? We
yeah.
just need someone with cold spells.
Oh.
We could freeze the whole thing into an actual
Oh yeah, because
aquarium tunnel.
they're used to warm water. If we just lower the
It doesn't-
temperature.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if we could just lower the temperature, but like if we could ice the tunnel so that it's just even a foot thick of ice, it's gonna take them a minute to get through it with their spear.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, without the water, does the water start to just drain out of here now that it's draining into this chamber?
Whew.
We'll find
That's
out.
That's a good question, Caleb. How are you deciding this room works? I'll be right back.
Look away, look away.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that because this has been constructed in such a way as to not flood, yeah, the water is going to remain constant, but what you guys have done is effectively get rid of the filtration system.
Look at us go.
Yeah.
So it's not going to flood, it's not going to drain. It's going to move a little bit, but it's going to be a lot more stagnant, and it's not really going to pass through the filtration system with any effectiveness. Well, with much effectiveness at all.
Okay.
Negligible, might as well not be working.
Cool. So, also, what's in the pool over here?
It's glowing from the center there.
Yeah.
If you
Yes.
would like, here, let me. If you would, yeah. If you're investigating it closer, I rolled your perception already and you failed. But if you're investigating it closer, roll me a perception check.
Oh, much better. 25.
25. Oof. Um. Okay, it's kind of out of yeah. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks to you like it might be a sword.
Oh. You know what? The doctor's rage is the doctor has his mutagen right now. He is not the wisest person. I'm gonna wade in and grab it.
Okay. Yeah. As you wade in, the water, you reach. Yeah, the water in the pool is 6 feet deep. So...
I am over 10 feet tall right now.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I am technically
Okay.
this big.
Yeah. So you reach in and you pull out the toothpick. Yeah, it is in fact a glowing longsword. And with that perception check, you notice that the pommel can come off. And you can end your opponent rightly with this sword.
I feel like this is a reference I should be getting.
Yeah, it's a Scalagrim reference.
Okay. Okay. Are you just making a reference, or is that an actual mechanical thing in Pathfinder I should be aware of?
I might turn it into a mechanical thing, because it's in a sword fighting manual. It's just like, if you want to end your opponent rightly, you detach the pommel and throw it at him.
Oh, okay.
The proper translation is like quickly or something, but to end him rightly sounds better.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna hold on to this after I shrink down, and me and Pavel are gonna climb up.
Okay. Cool. What was everyone else doing while that was going on? Was everyone watching this and seeing what would happen? In lieu of someone choosing to speak first, I'll just ask one by one. Magdalena, what were you doing at this point while this was going on?
The whole of the kit and caboodle?
Yeah.
I was under the impression that Magdalena was focused on Frode, making sure that the fish people, if they should be so brave as to come towards us, would not get to Sumiko. At least not without some real trouble.
Yeah. So okay, cool. That's what you're doing. That is good. Sumiko would then be following. Yeah, would then kind of be casting Jolt eternally while kind of shifting behind Frode a little bit, right? Am I right in assuming that?
She has stepped away to take care of teeth, so
I'm back now. I believe that is the plan.
Okay, cool. While Xing, are you pulling Overwatch on that, or just like making sure to keep an eye on things, or what's the plan? What have you been up to? Are you muted?
No, I'm not muted. I just have no clue. I guess I am just watching because I can't think of anything.
Cool. Okay. All right then. So the plan is to kind of see if Frode can guide Sumiko through the thing. So, yeah, as you're moving through Sumiko, the first thing that happens is Steward is like, "Hello again, treasured guest."
If I were a cat folk of any kind, I would hiss.
Your visit to the maintenance room has been documented and logged.
Go eat a cheese sandwich, you
for permission later.
No.
You stupid piece. I'm gonna be helping Mags if she needs it, if she's still weak and unable to move fully underneath her own power.
Right. So
no,
then,
she's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, as you're blasting the lightning, you do see the Adaros kind of swimming around, but they're definitely giving you a berth. Like, they're not...
Isn't 3 dead?
No.
Didn't... I thought we killed it.
No.
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 You dragged it into the hallway, hilariously, and it kind of flopped back into the water. Devino did hit it with an attack of opportunity, but it wasn't quite enough to take her down.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah.
No.
So you do see that they are giving you a bit of a berth while you're doing this.
Sweet. All right, we're going to make our way back upstairs.
Okay.
Lightning. Lightning.
As Magdalena, as you step into the room, Stewart turns to you. Welcome back, treasured guest. Your visit to the maintenance shed has been logged.
Oh, no. He's going to say this again.
Yes, he is going. He repeats the message. Just as he repeats the message to each of you, and then starts following.
Hello, treasured guest.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll just have Frode stay back, and he'll like sternly watch as sternly as a skeleton can watch.
Cool. All right.
Completely vacant eyeballs.
You guys make it through. As you guys are going through the canyon here, who's in front? Pavla. Yes. Is your visit to the menagerie finished?
Oh.
Pavla, you're Romney muted.
I'm sorry. Pavla like grins and says, "Oh no, no."
Oh no.
We are going in the wrong direction to see more of it, though.
Oh,
We are
that's
taking a short break.
Oh, I see. You require rest, of course.
Oh, yes, the shining examples of amazing things your master has done has been too much for us. We are clearly overwhelmed and cannot take any more stimulation.
I understand your feelings. Yes, I could see that you, he moves to Magdalena, I could see you were just frozen in sheer awe of the things you were beholding.
I'm gonna find out where that thing. I'm gonna say this in common so he doesn't understand me, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna understand where you are housed and what creates you, and I'm going to smash it, and then I'm going to defecate on those smash pieces.
This way back to your rooms.
Our rooms?
Yeah. He is now, of course, your lodgings. As our guests. Here you are. Yeah.
Guests.
And, he'll stop here. I'm sure you can find your way back from here. Do not hesitate to return if you wish to see the rest.
Oh, we'll be back.
I am pleased to hear it.
Pavla makes her way up the stairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna vanguard, but I'll till everyone else leaves and then head up as well. And then
Okay, so you guys make it up. What is everyone's plans for the rest of the day? Are you guys gonna be just resting up?
I am going to be so I'm gonna do two things. First, to Mags, I'm gonna give the new sword that I found. And ask her to identify it and figure out what's up about it, mainly and character, to give her work, because I know that's like a good way to help her deal with stuff, is to give her work to do.
Okay, cool.
And I'm gonna go to the surface and attempt to buy a selection of The chemicals in which I could use to poison water.
Okay, cool. Magdalena, what are your plans?
Figuring out the sword is a cool idea. We do have the wands that I have already got, which I will lay out. Pavla and I have both tried to mess with magic stuff before,
Yes.
but in light of the fact that I have recently discovered that pretty much everything we found here is cursed, I am going to ask for her assistance in helping me to try and make sure that we don't cast fireball on ourselves if we try to use these wands.
Right.
And also figure out if we can maybe combo off something cool for that room.
Cool. Pavla, what are your plans? I know you told me, but just for the stream.
Yeah, Pavla is going to go into town and try and find lodgings for her new friend.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Are you gonna be helping Magdalena as well, or when she asks?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. So I do have, for Robin's information, a wand of charm monster, a wand of invisibility, a wand of sound burst that I've used once, and a wand of acid arrow.
Nice.
I'll be right back so you can get to my part last.
Yes.
What are
How
your plans?
many of them are cursed?
I plan to sleep. This will be a full rest.
Yeah, you guys are gonna be.
I get all of my spells back.
Yeah, this is basically going to be your time of, if you have something you want to do, you can do that right now, and then you guys will be resting up after that. For
Gotcha.
instance,
Well, I don't really have anything to do preparation for, really.
Cool.
I mean, unless someone wants help, which I don't think I can really help with anything at this point.
Okay. Xing, what are your plans for this time period?
It's corporate nap time.
Corporate nap time does sound good.
Yeah. If you don't have any plans, that's fine. I'm just making sure to ask everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything in particular that Jing would need to be doing, so...
Oh, that's right. I forgot, Caleb. I'm just going to say this for the benefit of everyone else. Pavla is going to find lodgings for her animal, and she's also going to look into training the owl for air support.
Cool.
What does that mean?
An animal trained in air support knows the attack, bombard, and deliver trick.
Yes.
Yeah, so if she spends a week, if she can, at the end of a week of teaching it this, it might be able to just fly with, say, an alchemist's fire or something fun, and drop it on people.
That's rad.
Yeah. So, we will start, let's start with the magic items. Sure. Magdalena. Yeah, first off, make me a perception check.
Okie dokie dokie dokie.
Or an appraise check.
Okay. I like appraise because I put points in it.
Cool.
And I want to be able to use it. So that'll be a total of 27.
Excellent. You also see that the pommel is detachable.
A detachable pommel on this pretty sword.
And yeah. Which is
I will
Is it to end your opponent rightly?
I will slowly unscrew the pommel.
Okay. The other thing you know about this sword is no, you've done no. You've done a better job of describing things
This
in
is a
flavor.
pommel of fireball.
Yeah. The first thing is this is a +1 ghost touch longsword.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So yeah, you found something pretty nice there.
Is it a cursed item? Is it a cursed item of 5th level or below?
No, it is not.
Good. That means it's a higher level cursed item.
It's a ghost touch. It's a ghost touch sword. After you already were killed by the ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah, inside, when you detach the pommel, there's a hollow in the hilt.
Oh.
You find a scroll of Hold Monster.
Monster, hold monster. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's a scroll of Hold Monster inside this pretty sword hilt.
So, there you go.
All right.
How many monsters are we going to carry around with us by the end of this?
Not that kind of hold, Haley.
Yeah. Hold Monster's a good spell, though. I like it.
Hold as in to freeze in place.
Gotcha. Yes, that is very different and mildly disappointing.
Yeah, I was able to combo with a guy wielding a scythe to one-shot a giant boss with that. So that's it's a good spell.
A +1 ghost touch longsword. Load.
Guys, we can go back and kill the Spectre.
I will let you do that.
Oh, you mean the shadow?
Yeah, the shadow.
An occultist is proficient with all simple and martial weapons. I can wield a +1 longsword.
Yeah, and this one doesn't look like it came from hell, so it probably isn't cursed.
I really liked the one that looked like it came from hell.
I know, it's so cool.
Wait.
Has ghost touch.
Me a couple times.
What? Oh, is that? Are you talking about
My
the
bug
spear?
leg spear.
Yeah. I was thinking to myself, it's very unlikely that it's ever going to stab someone. It's just...
Yeah, you did not realize that you had handed it to me, clearly.
Yes, clearly.
Twice, back to back.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was, yeah. It's like,
Oh no.
I think
actually
Robin
had some really interesting, cool ideas for that.
Okay,
too.
so
Thanks.
But later.
Okay, so how are you guys approaching the wands?
Do we have something that we want to do with the wands that we have? Do we want to acquire new spells, or do we just want to rely on the...
Well, you said something about freezy spells, right?
I did. I don't know how much freezy spell we would need, and we would have to talk to the guys and then...
I would like to exchange this wand for one of equal or lesser value of... I mean, to be fair,
I just like, there's the difference between expectation and reality, right? Like, I'm remembering when once I used the spell Cone of Cold, and my DM was like, yeah, you freeze an entire room full of water. And I was like, oh.
Let me see if that's actually how that... Hang on a minute.
I don't know if that's how that works. That's just what he
No,
thought
I was gonna say
in the moment.
Yeah, he was very much a rule of that's cool and interesting DM.
Okay.
He was... He was weird.
For you to say that.
Oh!
Okay, unnecessary burn, Haley, but okay.
She got me last week too.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if anyone remembers that, but I do.
I do remember it happening.
I don't. No, I'm so sorry.
Well, so
I'm starting to get used to it.
One of the things was we he was the DM who DM'd the very first games that both me and Aaron played in. And one of the things was, because we were used to video games, like he had us find vials of acid in
Oh my god.
in a graveyard. But the graveyard also had a locked door onto a crypt, and we from the adventure we pretty much knew that we were trying to get into that crypt.
Yep.
And so we were like,
Right.
oh, this is how you solve the puzzle: is you put acid into the lock.
And the DM who was desperately like, no, they can't get into the crypt right now because if they do, they'll die. was like, oh, you fuse the doors lock together.
Oh.
And then I was like, okay, we'll use it on the hinges. And he was like,
Oh no.
he goes, now the door can never be open.
And then the gravedigger walked up, and we're just like, man, somebody messed with your door. We've got no idea what's going on here. You should.
Oh,
it was just
man.
really funny because like he gave me the acid and I was like, aha, the solution to the problem. He's like, no, it's literally just a vial of acid.
You really messed up this door. It's gonna take until you're at least level 10 to get this open.
And the only reason that he gave us the vial of acid in the first place was because it was random loot.
Oh no.
No.
I rolled a ridiculous perception check when we were searching the graveyard, not expecting to really find anything. And he's like, oh, tucked under like a little pillock of earth by one of these tombstones, you find a vial of acid. And I was like, there's no way. This isn't Zelda. We can't just carve our way through grass and find rubies.
Nice.
No.
Of course, this was also the
actually
DM.
a good idea.
The DM, though, this is the same DM who, for first-time players who never played an RPG before, I played a wizard, and he goes, I ask him, I don't understand these rules. Which spells do I get? His reply, all of them.
This was also.
Yes, but
This was
No, his reply was literally, I said, what do I have in my spell book? Because I'm not sure how this works. And he says, you have all the spells of the cantrip level and all of the level 1 spells.
I mean, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
It's not how wizards work.
No.
That is not how wizards work.
This was 3.5. Also, he also.
Did you think you were playing a sorcerer?
No. And even sorcerers don't get all of the spells. Like he literally
Did you
handed
think
me.
you were playing a druid?
No, he deliberately said you get all access to all of the spells. His reasoning being because choosing is too difficult, so just have all of them.
But then you have to. Oh my goodness.
Right, and that's exactly it. And then when we encountered problems, he's like, "Well, you have access to the spell that would help you solve this." And I'm like, "I don't know what half of these do."
Also, he also looked at the AC and went, and you know that base 10 that you get? He was like, no, that's too high. So we were walking around with ACs of like 4 and 5.
So let me get this straight. So you guys were playing through a Hollywood movie.
It was fantastic.
Armor does nothing.
Armor does nothing.
No.
All right, excellent.
It was a good. It was a weird
awesome.
game. It was a weird game. That's all I'm trying to say.
But hey,
So I think
It
I need
was.
to
It was a lot of
roll.
fun.
If I'm gonna be spending a week training the owl, I'm gonna need to roll for it.
Yeah.
well, we
it's-
don't know. Yeah. Basically, I'll keep track of the days, and I'll let you know when a week has passed, and then you can make the
The
roll.
days, the weeks, the months, they go by.
Yeah, my assumption is you're spending any and all free time you have kind of doing what you're doing, and then also just kind of training the owl. This is how you carry a thing from one place to the other. This is how you drop it where I tell you.
Well, I'm thinking of it. Did the art for the owls change?
Yeah, I changed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
He looks a little bit less like the Goblin King. And...
He's an eastern screech owl.
Ooh.
Specifically because they're too small to eat big rats.
Oh!
I
They're too small to eat big rats.
Yeah, because the rat folk owning an owl and a rat at the same time might
I
cause
think I thought it was a great idea.
All right, so huh. So again, what was your plan with the ones and Pavla and everything? Just to separate them, or are you still thinking what you want to do with all that?
Should I take them?
Magdalena.
The what?
Yeah, you mentioned wanting to do something with the ones. Either did you want to give?
Well,
some to Pavla?
I'm personally like I wanted to help to make sure that we knew that they weren't cursed. Now I had used one of the fungus ones before, and I haven't suddenly lost an arm at any point in time. But
oh well, actually,
not yet.
Funny thing.
Well, actually, that arm is gone.
Funny thing, there's no fungus on them anymore.
Right, you had mentioned that they unfungified themselves
Right.
pretty fast. But it does occur to me, regardless, that the wand of invisibility will probably be more useful in general in Pavla's career than mine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. From what you can tell, these are not cursed.
Because I'm pretty sure invisibility is a self-only cast. Like if I could buff other people with it, that would be a thing. But I cannot.
Okay.
So I'll give you that. And then you had directly said as a human being, maybe not as a character, that a ranged option would be nice. Do you want one of the damaging spells?
I
mean,
mean,
you will have to roll for it when you use it, but
it's not any different than a regular attack.
sort of.
Sort of.
Because you'll have to roll for it to use it and then roll for the attack.
Mm-hmm.
If you take acid arrow, but if you take sound burst, I'm pretty sure that's a save. So it would be one roll from you and one roll from them.
Yeah, I'll take sound burst then.
Okay.
Yeah. For invisibility, the target is either you or a creature or object weighing no more than 100 pounds per level.
At touch?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm usually at touch distance anyway.
You are at touch distance from yourself, but I am so slow, and you are usually at the head of the party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Gives me another thing.
I mean, if we want ease of cast, I can still do it because since it's on the occultist spell list, I can just be like, "Ooh, give me that wand." Bloop. You're invisible, but
Oh, I also wanted to pick up some more bags of powder.
Cool.
Because they're useful for blinding people.
Okay. So Pavla, you're giving Pavla the wand of invisibility and offering the one of sound burst. Is that right?
She has the wand of sound burst as well as the wand of invisibility.
Cool. Does Pavla have any reaction to this?
She will take them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very nice. Okay then, let's move on to Dr. Devino. So...
1 CP, okay, so I'll get 3 bags of powder.
For starters, yeah, when you guys arrived... Yeah, Lucy, you guys stopped by the base first, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, when you guys arrived... Lucy looks over and appears relieved.
At least she doesn't appear dead. That would have really rocked me.
So how did it go? What's down there? Nothing. Oh. Oh dear.
Are we still all bruised?
Not really. Magdalena put forth a lot of heals, so you guys don't look too bad at the moment.
We look passable.
Yeah. Oh dear. That bad, huh? Right. Well, did you find anything interesting?
I hold up ye gleaming blade.
Ooh, just a moment.
Is that what she says?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah. She comes over and starts to inspect it. Oh, I see. This appears to be. Let's see. Is this Ustalavin, or maybe it's from the Stolen Lands by an Ustalavin craftsman? And she starts muttering over it, and is completely transfixed. When you are going up into town, Devino. Where do you go?
I'm assuming to my alchemist supply there.
All right, excellent. You arrive, and the store. The first thing you notice when you arrive is that the store has been cleaned up.
Good.
It looks nice.
Good.
And inside there is, in fact, Rish Targera Greenbottle. She is, in fact, safe and alive.
Yay. I approve of both of these things.
Cool.
And she turns over and sees you. Oh, Dr. Devino! She's very happy and just sort of comes over to you. It's good to see you again. We haven't seen any of you up for a while. How goes everything?
Well, that's actually something I could use your help with.
Oh, of course. I'm very willing to help.
We've come across an aquatic nuisance.
Aquatic. All right. Let's see. I suppose you could try mixing some things with it. Hang on. Let me see what I have. And she starts rummaging. She starts going over her stock.
Yes. So I was thinking we could try and deal with that by contaminating the non-flowing water supply.
Non-flowing, so stagnant. Okay, all right. I think I can.
Well, okay.
How much do you need?
It is.
How much water are you trying to contaminate? Wait.
Not okay.
Wait a minute.
It is.
What water source is this? This isn't anything like that we would run into, is it?
No, that's what I was specifically mentioning. It is a pond that the water is kind of moving, but it's in a self-contained system.
All right. Yeah, I have some things here that might do the job. How big a body of water are we talking?
I explained the dimensions to her.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I think it's salt water.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's salt water down there.
A wizard wanted to have a fake ocean and put some things in it, and now the things are terrible, and I want to kill them.
I see.
I love how enough we live in a fantasy that this isn't a fantasy setting that he can just be like, a wizard was an idiot and I have to clean up his mess. And she's like, makes sense. It's what happens. It's what they do.
Wizards, of course.
None of this is bluffing either. That.
Uh-oh. Have I done a dumb?
I hope
Done a
not.
dumb?
Is that you as the player, or is that
Dum-dum-dum-dum.
is that the green bottle saying that?
Oh, thank God. Okay. No, that's me as the DM. For a minute, I thought I had deleted all of my notes for things.
Oh no,
Ooh.
that would have been bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
I didn't. I only
well.
deleted one of my backups, which, yeah.
I only deleted one of my backups.
This is why I have more than one.
Yeah. I have enough here that you might be able to contaminate a decent portion of it. Say, about a quarter of it should. Yeah, we should be able. It should render about a quarter of it unlivable for a while, until it gets spread out. Then it will just become unpleasant. It should spread out over a couple of days, at which point it'll just become highly unpleasant to whatever's inside it. If you want more, I can try to procure some more supplies. I don't know who might be coming into town or not.
Well, alternatively, speaking alchemically, is there a way we can strip the air out of it? It's sort of magically contained, so I don't think more of it would enter into the system. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't actually work. Now that I think about it, because with the filtration system, it's still running. So
no, we absolutely need oxygen destroyer. It's totally logical for the situation.
Boy, Robin's so glad she knows what that is now.
Shut up.
Nah, it's...
That's okay, Robin. Haley doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
I only have one problem with the plan, which is that its only known use did result in one of the most horrific creatures that ever graced the screen.
look, if we have to create a Tarrasque to deal with this problem, so be it.
Godzilla would own a Tarrasque.
Yeah, but the oxygen destroyer didn't create Godzilla. It created Destroyer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh no.
It also
Are we actually
created the
sure
third
about
Mechagodzilla.
that? Dear goodness, I actually want to get into a nerd argument about who would win, Tarrasque or Godzilla.
I think
That depends. The Godzilla powered up by Moth.
I was gonna say, which Godzilla? That's the first question.
That's-
Okay, anyway,
yeah.
that's
Okay.
That's a question for post game.
Yeah.
leave in the comments down below who you think would win.
We just on Friday we just watched King of the Monsters, the newer one. So
good times.
very good times. So that was.
All right, now
So we yeah.
All right.
So she does.
Coding-
She explains
Coding
that
nerd levels back to normal level.
she explains that it'll be temporary, but it should work for a day or a few days. So, like it'll render a pretty decent portion of it, just pretty unlivable for a while.
the question is though. Okay, so it's just something that I realized.
Mm-hmm.
If time unpaused when we walked down for everything,
Yep.
they will starve themselves in a handful of days.
Yeah, well, that's definitely the possibility.
Unless they can eat the fungus or each other.
Well, my thought being, if we can get something that would make them sick and have them expend any stuff that's inside them to begin with.
Okay. So, like, throw in a poisoned carcass?
Yeah. Oh, I'm planning on throwing in the carcasses and the poison. We're just throwing everything in here.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So yeah, how much is the poison she is offering gonna run?
Okay, it is poison, so that's gonna be a little more expensive. And then excuse me as I pull this up. My Chrome is not working on my laptop right now.
I'm sorry. That sounds like a you problem.
It is. I have a workaround, but I
Except
can't
for that,
do
it's
it.
now an all of us problem.
I know. I'm just being it.
Oh yeah, I'm just going along.
Yeah, I could make it a you problem.
Whoa!
Ooh.
No, I have no poison.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I won't do that. Okay.
What are you trying to look up, Kay?
Okay, just general how poisons run.
Pathfinder.
They run in the hundreds for doses.
They're real expensive.
Yeah, they are real expensive.
This
is danger. Let's see. She seems to be. She's biting her lip a little bit.
What kind of poison is it?
I mean, to be fair, do we live in a area of the world where hemlock exists? Like, I mean, I don't need a distilled poison. I can literally actually just go out and like get the raw materials and throw it in the water, and it would run through the system and poison for the level I'm looking at.
Right.
I mean, that is assuming that they don't just remove it themselves. But if I chop it up ahead of time, that'd be very hard to do.
Yeah.
What we really need is to find an enterprising alchemist who has already developed a plastic-like substance to make a couple of plastic rings.
You got bloodroot.
So
you've got drow poison. You've got flaying spider venom. You've got blade burn oil. You've got
so
green blood oil.
I mean, that's the other question. Do we have tar? Like, is tar a thing that exists?
Ooh.
That I could purchase in large supply?
I mean,
Probably
we use
not
pitch. We use pitch for our torches, right?
Right.
So finding a barrel of pitch could be a thing.
Yeah.
Or several barrels of pitch.
Yeah, you could potentially do that. Yeah, she looks at everything she has. She looks at everything she has. Then, let's say 200.
All right, I'm gonna look around for some other options, but I may be back. I'm gonna go try to find some place.
Well, you'll probably, as you're going. You shouldn't have much of a problem. There's plenty of talk going on about you, so, and people seem pretty inclined to like you right now. Calling you a few people have started calling you the town hero.
The doctor's like walking out the door, and just the look on his face while like he's just pulling his hat over his head and just like.
Yeah, specific. Yeah. Oh boy.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna make a roll real quick because. No. You know what? I won't. I like it for the scene. Nah. She sees you. She sees that reaction, even though it is your back.
Mm-hmm.
I was like. Well, I mean, it's only natural. You found, you exposed Tardan for everything he was, and you saved Adelind. You saved Adelind. That's talk like that gets around.
Not in character. Now look here, Missy. There ain't no things as heroes. I was hired to do a job, you understand? I was paid to track down that killer, and that's what I done. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
No.
I just made a backstory connection to why the Doctor would freak out as to people calling him a hero.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh
Curious.
my.
Oh, yeah. What? No, I won't add that. Okay, that yeah.
Look,
I forgot. I discarded that.
I do what I do. People want to call me a whatever. It's on them. I'm gonna go try to find myself some tar, some pitch. How much does a few barrels of pitch run me?
A few barrels of pitch. Let's see. I'm just going to type this in because it's entirely possible. Let's see that this is a real thing. Adventuring gear. Let's look at this.
Tar bomb is an item, so
A tar bomb.
you could extrapolate how much.
Yeah.
Tar from that.
One might extrapolate that because a tar bomb exists, so too does
Tar.
Well, a tar bomb is 15 GP. So if you were to, let's see, less potent version of Alchemist Fire, deals less damage, text, easy weapon to make, head side level tar is wrapped around a rope and set on fire.
I mean, yeah, like that's expensive because you have to assemble it.
Pool, tar ball, tar and feather, jelly tar.
Okay, so
a tar snare.
So a barrel of this stuff would be quite expensive, actually.
A tar snare consists of a shallow trench filled with tar or sticky mud. It's a CR1 trap worth 400 experience.
Nice. Okay.
Alchemical creations. Let's do it. What can you create with alchemy?
A lot of things.
Brain mold spores.
What?
We're doing it.
That sounds awful.
Let's see. You've got oil, alchemist fire, oil anointing, oil kerosene, oil lamp, oil quick freeze.
What?
It's
Considering the temperature in which oil freezes, that doesn't sound very quick.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you can find barrels of. Where do you go?
Well, I'm gonna ask around for the best price.
Okay.
We go loot Tartan's shop.
Yeah. Oddly enough, it's already been looted.
That was to be expected.
You get two answers. Some people say that. Hang on a minute as I look in the book. Some people say that the Thornkeep Mercantile, Pavla's boss's place, is the best location. Other people have actually pointed you towards a shop called Greenfoot Provisions.
I mean, as I said, I'm shopping around, so I'm...
Okay, so gonna do a quick. So yeah. Okay, so Yunar Barask is selling barrels of pitch. Does have several barrels of pitch. He is currently selling them at 30 gold per.
That's not bad.
I was jokingly going to say that to get a couple barrels of pitch, we would need 60 gold.
Nice. And then, if you were to, but then, stopping by in Greenfoot Provisions, a nice looking little place run by a female halfling and her very, very large half-orc friend. Like, this guy actually has more natural muscle mass than you do.
I mean, natural muscle mass than me.
Yeah.
That's not hard to do.
Yeah, it's like, yes, this guy is both taller and wider than you.
It's a good thing I wasn't planning on robbing the place.
Yes, I can't imagine anyone who would rob the place.
Nor I.
So, they only have 2 available, but they're selling them for 25 gold apiece.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So they have less, but they're cheaper.
Sweet. All right. Well, I will pick up. How many do I think I actually need?
All right.
Like when we're talking barrels, are we talking like sea barrel size? Right? Or are we talking like personal keg sized?
Probably closer to personal keg size. I know barrels come in from any size to, like, I hold this in one hand, to I fit myself and my family into this. So, so probably. I don't know,
Let's go this way. How many gallons of stuff are we talking about here? They're per each thing.
Darn complicated questions.
Yeah, drat you
Okay.
players.
Caleb, if you want me to make this question easy for you, how many does the doctor think he would need to buy to properly mess up the ecosystem like he wants to?
To mess up the ecosystem, it should
Yes.
It should take 2 might be sufficient.
Get a third one just in case.
3
Got
would
it.
be better. 5 would be overkill.
So 4. Okay. So that would be 25, 25, 60, 110 gold. I guess I will get 4 then, 2 from each place.
Cool.
So that's 110 gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I pay in platinum pieces.
The halfling store owner is pretty wide-eyed at that, and looks a bit. Ooh, okay. While Unarbarask doesn't seem to give it a second thought. He just kind of.
Cool.
Turns out being a town hero pays really well.
I will say, as you're walking through the town, a couple of times you do see people sort of glance over you and start whispering.
As he comes up from the dungeon once, buys 2 barrels, carrying one over each shoulder, walks them down, then goes to buy the other 2.
Exactly.
All right.
And nobody questions this.
Yeah,
Would you question the giant man carrying?
Yeah, I think
Not to mention the hero.
I mean, those are just a little. Yeah,
I'm gonna pick up a sack too, which I think is like
Hero Canton,
which
the
is like
man
what,
they
like
called Avano.
1 silver piece or something like that for a sack. They're ridiculously cheap. I know that.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually. While you're at the Thornkeep Mercantile, Unarbarask actually does say stuff to you.
I say stuff to him back.
Yeah.
Does he say more than stuff, or does the stuff include words?
Do you need anything to carry all this stuff? No. See, I made it work. No. Yeah. Yeah. He'll just as he's getting things out for you. Has Pavla been behaving for you?
Oh.
Ooh.
She's been doing her job.
That's good to hear. She's always done good work for me. Glad she's doing her part.
She's always been so reliable.
Oh, well, that's good. But still, that's good. I'd hate to have accidentally imposed on you in that way. Still, it'll be good to have her back after all of this, once all of this is said and done.
The
Yeah,
room's
mostly
temperature drops.
Yeah, mostly he's just like, he seems to just be making small talk. Yeah. When he goes to the back, gets the second barrel you want. I was like, I heard about all of your achievements during the recent unpleasantness. Yeah, you put on quite a show.
Thanks.
Yeah. I also heard you didn't have many nice things to say about the Baron. That is most unfortunate. I hope he doesn't take any actions against that.
I don't. Me have unnice things to say about the Baron? Would that at all match the actions of a man who stopped a mob from attacking and invading him?
No, no, but it's amongst the many things people are saying about it.
Oh, well, people.
Some of them even say that you turned into a giant, but I don't think that happened. I would have noticed that.
People say a lot of things. Can't be responsible for what other people make up. Picks up barrels, walks out.
Have a nice day.
All right, cool. I will head down to. I'll head down and I will get.
Ooh. You said you wanted to get. You said you also wanted to get a sack.
Yeah.
Was that something you thought of? Would that have been something he would also go back for, or no?
That was something I assume he picked up on the way. He was like, "Oh,
Good.
I'm gonna need a sack to throw some body parts in to make everything easier."
Yeah. Okay, that's not much.
Yeah, I took a silver piece off my sheet.
Silver.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'm going to head back down, and I'm gonna try and get Sumiko.
Okay, cool. Pavla, what were your plans for today again? You were going upstairs to find accommodations for your new friend?
Yes, I was going to look for a spacious cage to keep her in the house, and also teach her how to do the things.
Okay, cool. It would be better if you kept, so long as she's in a place that you are every day for the week.
Yeah, I'm going home every day.
Okay, good.
Sometimes I might not even leave.
Oh. So, where do you go to acquire this birdcage?
Where can I go?
The general stores.
I will shop around.
Okay. Well, currently you're down to 2 general stores. Greenfoot Provisions. You know, a very friendly halfling and half-orc that you've met before. Or you could go to your boss.
I'm sorry, what was my encounter with the halfling before?
That's the shop that you were tasked to steal information from.
Right, I'm getting the cage from Yunar.
Yeah. Yeah, when you walk in... Okay, so hang on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk in... Yunar Barask sees you, Pavla, and says,
Yeah.
It's good to see you again, Pavla. Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you for a minute?
She thinks to herself, like I have a choice, and she's like, sure.
You always have a choice, as my mother would say. It's a trap.
Yeah, when you you go into his office and motions for you to have. He sits down, motions for you to have a seat.
I sit.
I spoke to your companion again, that Devino.
And
the more I have spoken with him, and the more I have seen of him, the more I think that as an asset he is placed improperly. I'm not sure I can get much out of him.
Pavla doesn't say anything, she just listens.
And as a consequence, I'm not sure that we can. And as a consequence, I'm not sure our organization can profit much. Has there been many things that you have found down there? Has there been anything else of note you have found down there?
I'm thinking.
Please hold.
Yeah. There are the many artifacts you found on the 3rd floor.
Right.
Those might be of some interest, but not a whole lot.
To a man of the station of Yunar Barash.
Yeah.
She does have the goggles on her head.
Yeah.
Joggles.
Oh yeah, in that case, yeah. But yeah, I forgot about that. In that case, he would have remarked on those first.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, they're quite useful. They're the ones that help me with the disable device, I think.
Very nice. Quite handy. Now, yeah, there wouldn't really be a whole lot he personally would be interested in. I see.
Few wands here and there.
Yes. Very well.
Many cursed items.
Do you believe there is much more to explore of this place?
A few more floors, I think.
A few more?
We hear talk of some kind of dragon.
A dragon? Beneath Thornkeep that hasn't done anything? I sincerely doubt that.
I have a feeling it's not any ordinary dragon. Perhaps some kind of construct. There's been a lot of those.
Oh, it's probably... I suppose. If I had to guess, it's probably more closely related to the dragon they say lives in the woods.
Oh?
Yes, you are aware of the idea that there is a green dragon in the Echo Wood somewhere.
Oh, but that's real. I've seen it.
Yeah. It's probably related to that. But all the same, no harm in being careful. Do you think there will be much more? Do you think there will be much more of note to find down there that we can
There
use?
usually is the deeper you go in these things.
Yes,
I know, I've done it plenty of times.
Well,
I mean, where do you keep the most important things?
In the basement?
that is true. Well,
You've got him now,
Pavla, is your schedule free for the rest of the day? You appear to be taking a rest. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come here to gain supplies.
I have recently come into possession of a new asset that I'm training.
Did you bring it in the store with you?
I might have.
So it's a new asset. It flies around. Yeah. Yes. I can see how this would be useful. The aid of a flying creature is always nice. Is always good. But that's not what I asked about.
What do you need?
I'm going to when I close up shop later tonight, I would like to see some of this place. And I would like you to show me.
Ho 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 ho. It's a date then.
I think in particular he wanted to see the scrying mirror at some point, right?
He did mention that before. Yes. Yeah.
I believe I saw the doctor going down there today.
Well, yes, as I said, he was here earlier, but surely he would not stay up all night. Eventually, he would go back to wherever he has made his permanent base down there.
Yes.
Why? What? Have they set up their base around this pool?
The pool?
As a matter of fact, they have.
Bluff check.
They're like a room away from.
No, we're actually an entire floor.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're quite distant from it.
Fine.
The
16
caveat, of course, is that
plus
it's behind a hefty ass door.
plus
That's true.
14, is it a 14? 16 plus 14, so 30.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yes. His eyes narrow slightly. I don't suppose you could convince them to find somewhere else to camp.
Suppose there's no harm in trying.
Do so. No, do so. The sooner we gain access to that pool, the better. It's for the good of everyone, after all.
Just what are you planning, Yunar?
Well, an asset like that is invaluable for information gathering. I would be able to properly keep control over everything that happens. I would be able to know what is going on and be able to respond accordingly. The same thing I do now, just with more information.
Right. I'll see what I can do.
Do so. Now, before you go, is there something else? Is there something else you wanted?
Yes, some lodgings for my friend here.
Oh, of course. I believe we have something in stock. Let me see. He does eventually produce a bird cage for 3 silver.
Okay. Okay.
Pavla.
Yes.
This Devino always struck me as quite a mercenary fellow. But his actions have caused quite a stir around town. You don't think he's someone to keep an eye on, do you?
Depends on what you mean by that.
We just had an unpleasant experience with a new group led by a somewhat charismatic individual. If there are going to be any new groups rising, I'd like to know who they are. Naturally. He didn't strike me as the sort to begin a movement like that, but you have had more chance to speak with him. What do you think?
She sighs, and she looks at Yunar in the eyes and says, I don't think you have to worry about that from him.
Very good. Then the Three Daggers position is secure. For now. We'll be able to secure it a lot better once they leave. But I suppose they won't be around for too much longer.
I suppose not.
Very well, farewell, Pavla. Continue to stay safe.
Thank you. And she takes her leave. As she's walking on the road back to her house with the cage, she kind of looks over her shoulder, makes sure that nobody can see her. She takes hold of the holy symbol of Abadar around her neck. She wrenches it off and she throws it into the trees and continues walking home.
Okay. Is Haley here?
Yes.
Cool. Devino, when you go down into the dungeons, you do in fact find Sumiko.
Hey, I'm gonna try and poison the pond. Do you mind being my backup? They seem to fear your lightning.
Absolutely. She grins a little. Do you think you'll be needing anything aside from lightning?
No, I think I just need to scare him off while I'm doing what I need.
Very well.
Lucy has been examining the barrels of pitch, and it's like, what on earth are you planning on doing with all of these? Are you planning on lighting the whole place up?
No, I'm
Correct.
planning on poisoning the. I'm planning on making the water either at least extremely unpleasant to try and move around in, or kill everything inside of it, and hopefully suffocate them to death when they try to breathe it.
Oh, good. As homely as as interesting as this place is, I would hate to think we were starting to make it a permanent home.
At the very least, not my plan.
All right, so you guys are gonna go do that. Yeah, you don't really have any issue. You won't really have any issues with that.
Yeah. While heading down there, and everything, he's gonna go. He's gonna say, "So, when is the guy showing up?"
Guy?
Yeah, your master.
I'm not
Your
using that
guy.
word.
Yeah.
That guy.
Signafer Hast.
When is he showing me up? I know he gave me several days, but I forget which day we're on.
This is day 2. So he is arriving in 5 more days.
Oh. I turn to the doctor and say, another 5 days.
All right. Have to talk to Pavla. She's better at negotiations than I am. Also, heads up, just to try and have everything go smoothly, there's a good chance we'll make mention of. Try to make you seem unvaluable so he doesn't jack the price up too much. Like, he's disgusted at the own things that he's saying, but you know.
Right. Yeah. That is a good idea.
But you've been real helpful as part of the team. So, no, it's gonna be a lot of lying and stuff like that.
Oh, I can handle lying.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to sit down, Pavla, and figure out, and that way you can tell us what you know about him, so we can try and figure out the best way to play him.
She starts nodding a little and says, yes, I do believe Pavla would be best for when it comes to deception in this matter.
I'm good at standing and looking scary. Having people think they know what's my deal, so. And crowbar into barrel, flipping lid off. Ugh, seems everyone thinks they've got me figured out these days. All right, ready?
She
He
nods.
sits there. He picks up the first barrel and starts just dumping it in and like swishing it about in the water, you know, like in this space.
While she's doing the electrical thing.
Yeah, basically more if anything comes close to just start shocking it.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
I can do it from a range.
Yeah. So then second barrel, same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And then head back up for the other two.
Okay. Yeah. You don't get zapped, so that's good.
That's very nice for you.
We're about to go all BP on these people.
All right. Okay.
Fish people. I'm not above suffocating people to death.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay, so.
Repeat that process.
Cool. Anything? Okay, so that is what you're doing. Is there anything you're doing after that, or are you gonna be starting to wind down for the night?
He'll probably check up on Magdalena and see how she's doing.
Cool. So that's happening. Magdalena, have you been up to anything in this time?
I think before the doctor had gone off, she would have conferred and asked if we should prepare like the option for using cold magic, or if we were going to take it in steps, like if we were okay with taking it slow instead of just immediately backing everything up, and just seeing if option 1 worked and then moving on if it did not.
I was kind of more thinking the second case. The stuff points at the. I'm assuming before he took the barrels down is pretty nasty to water life.
Yeah.
And I'm figuring it'll spread off and if not kill them, well, at least make them really difficult to deal with, and probably they'll suffocate to death. I mean, it's essentially sticky poison to the lungs.
All right. In that case, she would not have immediately gone to see the Golden Fire Order unless... Oh, pardon me. Unless we wanted to unload, because now we know that the wands are useful to us. We know that the Scarab Bane thing finds the scarabs. I have the spear, and I mean, like, we know it's horrifically cursed now, so I could try and see if they want the horrifically cursed bug spear.
Nice.
I won't lie to them about it, though.
It's probably a good deal. We want to keep them as buyers. So, if you...
Yeah. Would you like this cursed magical item?
Well, it was of interest to Norathamon, and we have the potential of the other artifacts that are equally, unfortunately, endowed in the museum of his.
Dr. Domino suddenly clutches the 10 bag of tricks. No, it's mine!
It holds up the fleshy bag that we know eats people.
I mean,
I want to keep this, but
if you think you can get a price for stuff, yeah. Better to have the liquid assets than junk we're not really going to use.
I've been stabbed twice by the thing. I don't feel a particular attachment to it other than that my blood is still all over it.
Question, can Magdalena use a longsword?
I
'Cause-
can.
Yes. Okay.
I very specifically checked. It's I have access to all martial weapons.
Oh, I figured as an occultist. So it's strength based though. So
it is, but so's the spear.
Oh, so it evens out that the +1 just makes it better.
Yeah. I mean, I have a decent dex, so I have a better to hit with my knife, but I do a lot less damage. So
yeah, and cool magical ghost sword is an awesome thing to have on your character now.
Yeah,
it's definitely nicer than a sword that will stab me for lots of damage every time I critically fail, which incidentally is a lot.
All right, yes, and looks like now we've got. I'm assuming she filled him on the details for the sword.
Yeah, so she'll demonstrate that it has the hollow inside of it, show him the scroll of hold monster. It's a short-term option, of course, but it's useful nonetheless.
Actually,
Then you've got something to replace the spear if you want to sell it. So yeah, if you conceal the spear and if you want to try and sell the bag, that's up to you.
Also, I don't remember who. Someone was very interested in the idea of removing the shadow upstairs. This sword will catch it. It won't be able to escape. I don't like it, but if you were to utilize all of the chemical enhancers that you keep about your person, I think you could stand a chance against it. I don't think anyone else should be nearby, but I think you could do it.
Well,
as
would magic be effective against it too?
Possible.
Because then maybe Sumiko could artillery from far away.
I don't know how effective, and we wouldn't want it to get anywhere close to her.
Well, you know what I'm saying. If I can get it to call out and attack me, she can hit it with the force missiles and don't have to worry about hitting me.
We would just have to make sure we had an option to get her out quickly if it should turn on her. It did a number on me, and she is slighter than I am, so...
Yeah, I mean... I don't know. I think if we don't need to deal with something, then let's not risk it, right?
That is certainly a life philosophy.
All right. Well, we're gonna go take care of Plan A.
Okay.
If you wanna go take care of your business while we're doing that.
Right.
Okay, so Magdalena is going to do a thing. So you are in fact going to the Golden Fire Order with an array of things. Yeah, with the bug spear.
I think the bug spear is the thing that we want to unload. I don't know that we have anything else that we...
Oh, you don't want to sell the flesh bag?
The flesh bag? I said I'd like it. It's
okay.
A nice flesh bag. Besides, there's the off chance that sometime in the future we will turn completely evil, have an enemy who is helpless, and be able to stuff their head into it.
I mean,
that sounds worse when I say it like that.
I was thinking much more. That's the kind of thing that we're like, hey, Barask, here's a thing for you.
Oh, did he give us the option to hand him stuff?
No.
I don't remember him saying anything about paying us for things.
No, he has Pavla on a personal mission.
Yeah, that or
he doesn't trust you guys as far as he can throw you.
That if we can illusion it for Hast. Here, we put all of your gold in here.
Oh, that's even better because it has a chance to eat the gold.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What? It was cursed? We had no idea.
That's great. Okay, cool.
You know that's how you create Bond villains.
Yes.
I mean, I don't
You
know
make
that
that
it
sound
will
like that's a
decrease
bad
his,
thing.
decrease his level, but if we can get him to put even one hand into it, that's a.
I mean, if we could get him
it's
to
an advantage.
If we get him to put one hand in it, I would argue then that eliminates his ability to use any somatic spells at all.
If it only takes one hand, but you only have to have one free hand.
Dang it! Never mind.
Plus, he still has his. He would still have his attuned item. So
the critical issue would be we need him to get his to put his good hand into it, and hope to hell he's not ambidextrous.
Anyway, crazy stupid plans aside, you go to sell a thing.
Yeah, do we want to sell the bag too? I mean, I feel like
it's so cool though.
the bag is super rad. I just feel like every use case scenario for it means we're bad people.
I mean, okay. Would Magdalena want to hang on to it as a curiosity, or would she want to get rid of it?
So the problem that I have is Magdalena is not a good people.
I was gonna say, I was like, these are 3 sentient creatures, despite the fact that they are enemies that were like, I'm like, it's basically the equivalent of locking somebody in a room with a smoke thing and being like, cool, I'm going to let them suffocate to death.
The problem is that Aaron has moral conundrums with it. Magdalena would absolutely be like, no, I need to hang on to this in case I need to eat someone's hand with it.
I wonder if there's a way to turn that into an object she can cast spells with.
I think
just like that guy that was harassing Jing would be, that would be good enough for her to just be like, well, I'll screw him up with this.
Surprise!
Does anyone else hear a family laughing?
No, I did not.
Can, but
now I can. In the background, slightly.
Okay, so.
All right, so we'll sell the spear.
Okay.
Cool. I will take. Okay, so let's start with. Okay, we'll shift over to Pavla real quick because Pavla was doing a thing.
Pavla.
Yeah, Pavla.
Yes.
The general gist you get is that most of them are good. About 11 of them say they're good. But their words and they're the way they say things and the way they're moving says otherwise.
And I try to give the gist that I understand back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah. So there's a number.
There's a number.
There's a number of them.
Okay.
Numbers are good.
Yeah, mostly amongst the sneak thieves, not so much amongst the thugs.
I'm not one for thugs anyway.
Yeah, with a few exceptions, most of the toughs and heavies are totally fine.
All the finesse workers are the ones that are having issues.
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
Which, ironically, are the ones he depends on.
So yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. So then, is that the last thing she does before the day's over? I imagine.
Yeah, and then she'll go home.
Cool. Magdalena, you make your way over to the Golden Fire Order.
I do.
Yes. Yeah, there's the usual buzz of activity in there.
Okay.
When you arrive, Tiowask and Jaren, 2 of the mages that you've talked to more often than not, the 2 that have been to the Emerald Spire,
for sure,
are having a conversation, and obviously the The wizard manning the front desk is also there, and they greet you quite warmly. They greet you, and they're looking at the item you carry with a mix. Are you carrying it in, or did you put it in the bag?
No. We're not going that far. No, I have
There's a prize inside.
I have the bug spear.
Okay. Yeah.
I am going to bring forth the spear, and I will say, a group recovered this item, and we have some interest of departing with it.
Huh.
There are some things that I will need to inform you of before any trade is made.
Jaren is already reaching for it.
We are interested in trade, nonetheless.
Um,
Careful. So, it is to itself magicked. It is particularly sharp, and is good at finding weak points on uh, anything that it strikes, whether it be armor or a creature.
Or the user.
Unfortunately, it also seeks out its user at times. The article
you
itself
mean?
coming to life to a certain extent.
Excuse me. I just remembered I actually have tokens for these guys.
Stabbing at the will.
I would say about 5% of the time. If I had to put a numerical number on it for some reason.
Except the use case scenario in her particular
This case is close.
experience has been a lot higher than 5%.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Okay, so yeah, it's these two. So TOS is speaking to you. Jaren is looking at the spear, fascinated. So it's like, so you mean this is a cursed item? This item
It
is
appears
cursed in some way.
to bear some sort of curse, yes. I don't know if removal of the curse would also take away the enchantment upon the item, but it's not something that I had particularly endeavored to find out. After
that's
it
actually
drew
something
my blood several times.
Well, that's actually something I've been interested in myself. This is Jaren speaking now. Do you have? You say it. You say you were able to activate its curse. How did it happen? Were you fighting with it at the time? Did it just happen randomly? How did it? How did it strike? What was the situation involved?
It was in a moment of stress. There was combat, and I was using the spear in engagement. Yes, but it does not seem to have come to life of its own accord otherwise. Only when its intent is to strike.
I see. May I hold it? I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can part with something in exchange for this, right? He looks at
At
the other
your
two.
whim, just have a care. As I said, I don't know
Right.
for sure what causes it to.
If you, yeah, as soon as he has it in his hands, he's trying to bend it to find out what
Oh,
happens.
good.
Okay. Genius.
I just. Oh, right. Okay, that's happening now.
Slowly backs away from the counter.
Um. This is most interesting. Yes, I will. Was there something in particular you were wanting? Would you prefer to have gold in exchange for this, or were you looking to for? Because we can definitely pay you for it, but you said exchange.
Gold is a very clever thing that I do like to have a hold of. And in this particular case, I believe that is what the company wishes. So, for the sake of a contract that I have signed not too long ago, I will say liquid assets.
Ah. Very well.
Although, for future reference, I would like to know you have evokers on staff here.
Lady Eliara herself is an evoker, specializes in fire.
Of course. Does anyone here or any of the resources that you hold on to include spells that manipulate temperature in the opposite direction?
Hmm.
Say, for instance, that I wanted to freeze several cubic feet of seawater,
Hmm.
or a whole lot of cubic feet of seawater.
You know, it's just a random example. Don't know why I'd want to do that.
Yeah.
with with humanoid sharks swimming in it.
Adaros. What are Adaros doing down in the dungeon?
I
Is this connected to the previous owner?
I deeply suspect that the answer to your question is yes.
Fascinating.
Uh, However, having tried to speak with them, I don't know that they are of any more use to us than as insight into the curious mind of the previous owner.
Shame. That would they might have. I was hoping they might prove useful. How did they
If
survive?
useful to you is thinking with your teeth and trying to use those teeth to say hello to everyone who should enter into their space, that they may be very useful.
Fair enough. How did they survive? Is there an entire underground? I don't. You said saltwater? Is there an underground lake of it?
There is some kind of a suspended one of the chambers is flooded, but there is a passageway that leads through it of air that has been magically preserved. It appears that there was a greater stasis field of some kind that had been placed over the entirety of the floor that we are currently exploring. However, at some point it
Really?
degraded, and it appears that our entering caused the field to fail altogether.
Really?
Yes.
That does bear out. That does bear out what we already suspected.
Yes. Unfortunately, it has led to the floor being infested by the creatures that were originally held there as some kind of an exhibit.
Yes. So the occupant, the one who used to live here, must have been a very powerful wizard,
That is our suspicion, yes.
exceedingly powerful. Uh, Lady
You are
Eliara
right.
might. Yes, she appears to be thinking. It's just if it is in fact the same with if it is in fact the same wizard I'm thinking of, he might have some connections to the Emerald Spire as well. I forget if I've mentioned that to you or not.
Do you have some vested interest in the previous owner?
Well,
And do you have any knowledge regarding them?
all I'm aware of is that he was an Aslanti sorcerer of exceedingly great power. He would have to be in order for all of these magical artifacts and objects to be under his control.
I confess that I had similar thoughts, which is part of the great interest. I was called in on this excursion due to the fact that Aslant is a field of study for me.
Yes, I'm afraid I don't much about Aslant myself. I was more attracted to studying the inherent magics of the area.
Visible, slight disappointment passes over Magdalena's face.
Do you know?
I see.
But you say he You say that's your field of study. Do you know
It
who it
is.
was? Do you believe you know who this is?
I
Was?
have my. That's what they call a Freudian slip. It's when you say one thing but mean your mother. um,
I misheard and
What a
I
terrible
heard.
time to take a drink. Oh.
I heard it's when you say one thing, but when it means your mother.
That's exactly what he
No,
said.
that is
that
what he
is
said.
what I said. It's the point
Is
of the
that
joke.
what
It's a
it's-
joke.
Oh, I'm an
It's
idiot.
a joke, Hannah. That's
I
the
thought
joke.
I thought it was Discord making it sound weird.
Nope.
Uh,
That's Freud making it sound
no,
weird.
that was a great joke. Okay.
um, yeah. I have my suspicions. Um, there are uh, four distinct possibilities that I have been exploring immediately. Um, but I have hopes that I will find full confirmation, perhaps even at the expense of entering the tower that you have mentioned.
Yes.
It
Well, I look.
does seem that there are many interconnecting threads in this area, and I am excited at the possibility that there is a potentially large find here somewhere, although I have been thus far disappointed in what we have been able to discover, as it seems to have been the dross, the leavings of whatever arcanist previously owned the structure.
I see. Well, this. Huh. Thank you. Let me know. Will you let me know if you find out anything else? In exchange,
I,
I can
assuming
tell you
that I
what I
make
know
it
about
back out,
what we've been able to discern about the spire itself.
has the order also been pursuing the spire?
Yes, I've taken Jaren out there twice now.
Ah, the excursions which you were on when we first arrived, I take it.
Exactly. Once you started investigating the halls underneath here, we decided to proceed with our studies into the spire itself.
Tell me, what do you know of the sorcerers of Aslan?
Not much. At least one of them must have been very powerful. Um, in fact, I suspect many of them were quite powerful because the entire area surrounding the fortress is completely barren, unnaturally barren. There must have been a great battle there with much magic being used. The
And have
only
you found residual fallout of any kind?
only inside of the fortress surrounding the spire itself.
Interesting.
Although that is
I
the other thing to note about it. Most people, I imagine that you believe the spire to be a tower of sorts, correct?
uh I have only loosely heard of the thing, and perhaps, if you will forgive a woman's prattlings, perhaps seen it in a dream.
Well, the strange thing is, the spire is not. Yeah, there is a fortress with a prominent central tower, and a with a shimmering, magical looking green crystal structure jutting out from the top of it like a needle. But the tower itself is not the spire. The spire appears to be that green crystal, and it appears to have come up from the ground.
You don't say.
and the fortress has seemed to have been formed or have been built around it, with many floors going down. Yeah, with a few paths going down into it. I don't know
As
how
though
far. I
it
don't know where this
itself
was going.
was an excavation of another phenomenon.
Yes, I think so. It appears that the spire originated from the ground somewhere.
How deep did you say that you were able to go into the structures beneath Thornkeep?
We, Thornkeep, we only managed to reach the door. We couldn't quite figure out how to approach that. In
Do
fact, if I
you
recall, it was your if it was your own knowledge of Aslanti culture that enabled you to move past the door.
your own notes dictated a similar suspicion. Have you, when we reached the level that we are currently on, there was something breaching the walls, a sort of crystal. I have only been able to insinuate is a type of emerald, but growing in a way that is completely foreign to natural rock structure.
Well, I can say
I'm
that
no geologist, but
these emeralds weren't magical at all. They were just gems.
they possess a strange resonance to them, but nothing that I would describe as magic.
Hmm. I suppose that might be. No, not really.
It is
No,
more
the Emerald Spire
akin.
is definitely magical. It is a source of uh, some incredible planar magic power. I suspect one might be able to use it as a means of teleporting oneself, but I'm not quite
The
sure how.
green crystalline structure itself, you mean?
Yes,
Hmm. You were able to get close enough to it to discern all this?
yes. The fortress has been built around the crystal, but the crystal itself is quite plainly visible and accessible to the touch. Hang on one moment as I. Um, where is? Okay. So yeah, those two. Yeah, it is accessible. It is easy to see and accessible to touch on each of the first three floors.
Interesting.
We also. Hmm, yeah. Although, if you're planning on going there yourself at any point in time, I do feel I should warn you. We have seen evidence of recent activity. The first floor, un- the first floor until very recently was home to a tribe of goblins. We are not sure where they have all gone, where they all went, but they were absent both times we went.
You don't say.
Oh dear. Uh,
The uh, the other thing, the other item of note is uh, we do not appear to be the only ones investigating the spire.
there are
We've seen
others already.
evidences. Yeah, we've seen evidences of others who are there, both. uh, hmm, uh, which I suppose is fair enough. Um, most of what we've seen appears to be groups of individuals investigating the spire itself and the surrounding fortress. But in one instance, we saw what appeared to be a single individual.
this single individual was of note for some reason?
Yes, it goes along with a rumor of a member of the Technic League being in the area for whatever reason. Are you aware of the Technic League?
The name does not, I have not encountered it before.
They're a group of secretive mages who have their headquarters in Numeria, to the north of here.
That is the name I do know.
Yeah. Apparently, they have some very strange magics there, and they do strange practices, such as replace their own bodies. There's rumors they replace their own body parts in some manner. There are many strange things that come out of Numeria. But anyone from that organization would be fairly powerful and just someone to watch your step around.
I see. I will. I'm interested in continuing this discussion.
Oh,
There
as am I.
are some texts that I have found below. We shall arrange. I don't know when we will next return to the town. Do you expect to engender another expedition soon, or will you be here for some time?
We shall remain here for the next 2 weeks at least.
Very good. Perhaps on our next excursion, I shall bring some of these texts and we can discuss my findings.
Very well. I look forward to it. The secretary, having seen that you guys were in a deep in conversation, had gotten the money, and has been sitting, doing busy paperwork and stuff, jotting stuff down while waiting for you to finish.
Okay.
Oh, when you as you're getting, yeah, as you stand up, Tioask says, in regards to your question about spells to freeze salt water, perhaps Lady Eliara might have a scroll lying around, but none of us would specialize in it. Oberyn does a few things that could send a chill running through you, but I doubt he could. I've never seen him attempt to freeze anything.
A pity. It was a mere interest, though. As I had said before, liquid assets of some kind. Will I just see the secretary in regards to this?
Yes, I believe. Oh, yes, of course. And hearing this, um, he stands up and is like, "Here you go. This should be the amount. Um, we have managed. Yes. How much would they be able to pay for this? I pulled this up and I'm okay. Yeah.
Woo!
I legit thought that was you making a noise, Aaron.
We had to.
Wasn't?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had to do some searching. We had to do some searching, but I eventually found it. He hands you a medium small pouch.
A medium small pouch. All right.
Yes.
I have now one medium small pouch currency.
There should be
So-
200. There should be 200 platinum in there, and
Holy mackerel! All right.
Whole. We need to sell these guys more things. They pay good. They pay top dollar.
So, yeah. I did have to. I did. Yeah. I did have to empty quite a bit of the safe for this, but yeah, our savings for this, but it's definitely worth it.
Said the GM to Joel.
No.
I tried to make that clear ahead of time. I was like, let me just say that a different way.
Let me see. Here's the thing that we also should look into: trading stuff for a
Actually, wait, what am I saying?
keen rapier.
Actually, hold on. Actually, no, that's not what happens. I just remembered the thing. You know what happens?
Eh?
And I was like, yes. When he hands it over, it's like, yeah, funny thing, we just happened to have an extra 2,000 gold worth of coin lying around. Can't imagine where that came from.
Oh.
I have an
No
idea
idea.
of where that came from. Okay. A pleasure doing business with you once again.
Yeah, likewise. This will be. I'm sure it will be quite informative if Jaren doesn't stab himself with it. Or even if he does, I'm sure it'll be useful to the rest of us.
Oh no.
Whoa. Okay, buddy.
Oh no.
Maybe we just bring him down there, increase the saline content of the water to the point where it's unlivable.
It's like,
Because this man's salty.
TOS is pinching the bridge of her nose a little bit. Well, it was a pleasure to see you again, Magdalena, as always.
Likewise, to be sure.
I look forward to our future conversation.
And I as well. If you will forgive me, I must be getting back to
Of course.
our group. I believe there was an experiment going on, and I would like not to be away too long in the event that something goes horribly awry.
Sorry, all I can see is
cuts to the doctor.
No, see what I'm seeing is it cuts to the doctor and Jing, but it's that what we do when mom's not home music. Douche, douche, douche.
TOS bows and farewell.
I bow and snark back. No, I'm not there.
No, cuts to the doctor. More pitch.
And Magdalena, as you're going out the door. Oh, one moment. There was one other thing I wished to say to you. There's one other thing we've discovered.
Sudden stab.
But now that you mention it, there is something I would speak with you about.
On each of the 3 floors we visited, where we looked upon where we were able to look upon the spire and investigate it directly, a single rune was carved into it. I believe Jaren made us a rubbing of them. If I can, if you would just wait a moment.
Of course.
She goes and after a bit she comes back with 3 pieces of paper and hands them over to you.
I take them. Do they look familiar?
These are the Aslanti these are the Aslanti runes for 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
It would seem that someone is incredibly orderly.
Oh.
It's a simple numeric sequence. Ascending.
Interesting. I wonder why. She reaches out her hand to have the papers back. Thank you, I
Either
appreciate it.
someone is incredibly organized, or they got a hold of the DM's notes.
Yes. Interesting. Interesting. I shall have to see. I shall have to give this matter some thought. She holds her hand out to take the papers back.
Yeah, I give them back to her.
Thank you again for your assistance. I'm sorry to have held you up. Farewell.
Not at all.
She bows again. Okay. Whew. Sumiko, was there anything else you wished to do? Or shall we skip ahead to the doctor and Magdalena?
I should be good.
Okay. So, yeah, Dr. Devino, you had mentioned you wanted to speak to Magdalena after you were done, right?
I'm afraid Devino is dead.
Joel,
Oh,
I
no.
think you're muted.
Oh, no.
I am
no.
muted. This is correct.
Okay.
Yes, he would speak to Magdalena.
Awesome. Okay. So, eventually, you guys do meet up again back in the main room. I'm going to say, Devino, you finish first, and then Magdalena would arrive.
I return with the spoils of war.
Dumps the platinum on the table.
Yeah, there's a thunk. It's the sack. It's the table.
Spoils indeed.
That's 33.33 repeating for everybody.
So, wait. So
it's 33 plat.
Okay. So 33 plat, 33 gold, 33 silver pieces, and 33 copper pieces. That's how that's going to split out, right? That's what we all heard? Cool.
But who gets the last copper?
Technically, in
Yeah.
a purely technical sense, if you take, oh god, me and calculators. Okay, here we go. If you take it, there's two platinum that would not be distributed evenly. So,
That's true.
Cool.
So someone else, either two people get one more platinum coin, or one person gets two platinum coins.
Cool. So Mags and the doctor get one extra platinum coin.
Okay.
Okay. Am I getting paid?
Yes.
Yes,
I get paid.
You are now contracted. Congratulations.
I can now buy my own freedom. I can buy other people's freedom.
That's right. Would this be your first? This will be your first moment receiving spoils with the company. Yes.
Oh yeah. She asks this. Sorry. She asks this as like her. I'm guessing you're trying to hand her some of the money, or maybe it's on the table. Either way, she's.
Oh
just
yeah, we
staring.
split it evenly.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
a
so
little
if someone's
pile.
handing
There's a
it
little
out-
pile left over for Pavla tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone hands any out to her or anything, she's just gonna stare for a minute and furrow her eyebrows a little bit, like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Do you need me to hold on to that and for a little while?
Hold on.
Well, it's good. It's going to be yours, but I guess technically, if we give it to you now, is it still yours, or should we pay you later?
Her eyes widen and she looks to the floor a little.
Are you allowed to own your own property?
I don't think so. Out of character.
You would have if you. It's by law, so if you legally come by money and are able to buy yourself back, that's perfectly fine. But it's one of those things where it's like,
you have to prove to your
if
master
they
that it
have,
isn't stolen
yeah,
goods.
if they know you have it and have a legal reason to take it, then they will.
So basically, like, all right, we're gonna put your payment aside for now,
Yeah.
and pay you
So
later.
yeah, she
AKA, it's on your sheet so we don't forget about it, but technically so Caleb can't screw us over.
Whoa!
Unless, yeah,
Wouldn't
letting you
do
know,
that.
letting you know, there's a
It wouldn't be Caleb. It would be Signafer anyway.
Yeah.
yeah, him.
So yeah, she what doctor
Hey,
when you
Joel's used
offered
the
to
same argument before himself.
Yep, he has. Yep. No, absolutely. It's...
So yeah, she kind of nods to the doctor, and you can see there's like the look in her eyes of trying to process this, not processing this. Maybe I'll think of this later.
The moment is not to be diminished, though. This is your first score. I say that's worthy of a drink, don't you, Doctor?
The doctor is already pouring stuff into a keg from the keg.
Jing just raises her hand. So, like, I second this.
Wait, is this the moment where you bring out the apple cider?
Sure. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
She's getting teary. And she finds a chair as she's like trying to process this. It's a strange thing, isn't it? She looks specifically at the doctor.
Strange how?
Owning something rather than being owned.
I guess it's not as big for me. I was born free and lost it and got it back.
I was born free.
As free as the wind blows.
She looks down at the cup that I guess she's been handed by at this point. That was a long time ago. She raises her glass. And in a moment of inspiration, calls...
the doctor's gonna. I guess he's gonna raise his glass in a toast for everybody. He goes to being free.
I will also raise my glass.
Yeah, I don't know what. I was torn between saying "I cheers, salute."
Magdalena also raises. She's actually got. Well, I guess if you poured out the cider, she would take some of that. And she'll raise that and she'll say, "To being free and all of its horrors."
She's just a ray of sunshine. A bright little cloud of lightning and death.
It's true. It's comes with its own struggles, to be sure. A different life.
What a life.
A life nonetheless.
To a life that we choose.
Jing will
certainly drink
to a path of our own making.
Who all is in the room right now?
Sumiko, Jing, Dr. Devino, and Magdalena. And Lucy, yeah.
And Lucy. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, is Lucy here?
Yes. I excused myself from the scene because I was holding on to a bathroom trip for an hour.
Ah.
Oh, that's fine.
So I haven't been. So I haven't. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I was just wondering
Has
if she
only
was.
been loosely present.
Yes, she has. Yes, she is in fact present. And when she accepts a glass of cider, and when Dr. Devino makes his toast, yeah, she does respond with a simple to being free and to being free, and I don't know what a good descriptor is for drinks. The drink is so, but she does it.
Tips her glass up.
Quaffs?
Not. I thought of that, but no.
Takes a hearty sip.
Thank you.
A hearty sip.
Sure.
It was with great effort and
with solemnity.
Yes.
She downs the drink.
Okay. Anything else, or are we skipping to the morning?
Looks like that's good for the night.
Okay, cool. Sumiko.
Yes.
What does your morning routine look like?
Normally waking up early. Normally it would be washing up a bit, but given that they're in a dungeon right now,
yeah,
just getting ready for the day.
Yeah, there is the river that's out past the ooze.
I don't think it's
Yeah, but sneak. If you want a bath, sneak past the ooze.
I mean, I do have. I'm assuming we probably brought some water down from the river, from above.
Okay.
Oh, the doctor needs to rebrew his mutagen, so he'd get up early today too.
Okay.
Yeah, just wash face, get drink some water, maybe do a few stretches.
Is she about to get a visit from Pathfinder Hast?
Make me a will check if you would like.
I think I know better than that.
Okay.
Although I'll start walking back to where the others are.
Okay. Point being, are you alone?
Depends on the timing.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, Caleb, are we ever really alone?
Yeah. Like, basically, in your morning routine, do you go off to be by yourself for that?
No.
Okay, thank you. So you do feel Signafer Hast's present. You do feel the feeling of someone else being there as they watch you.
Lovely.
But nothing else happens.
Okay. Does it ever go away?
Yes.
Okay. Good. He has other things to do than to just spy on his slaves.
That's what you think.
In another hour. I assume as people are still going about morning stuff, other people have presumably awoken and are.
Oh, is this the day that he said he would be visiting?
No,
or
it's not.
I didn't think so.
But you feel that presence again.
If I were a more ordinary character. What are they laughing about?
I don't know.
Yeah, but you stay.
My door's closed.
I don't know. But you stay where everyone is?
I think after it goes away this time, after to to tell him about it.
Okay.
So, I go to the doctor.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
There is a somewhat pressing matter, it would seem, that I think needs our attention. My current master seems to have been looking for an time to drop in for a visit.
Uh-huh.
He prefers if I'm alone. But I do not wish to be alone with you. If I could go to an area and make it seem as that have you nearby in case something should happen, or perhaps one of the others. Can we arrange that?
Yeah, of course. Let me wake the others up.
Thank you.
Okay. Pavla, do you get up rather fairly early? Are you on your way down for all of this?
Does she know anything about any of this?
No, I'm just wondering how her morning goes. Is she up, like, quite early, or is it, like, what time does she head down to meet everyone?
Was she told to meet everyone?
I mean, presumably, they had plans to continue into the dungeon at some point.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, you do have reason to go down, it's just... Yeah.
It's a matter of timing.
Yeah.
It's a matter of timing, as in, do you want to be present for this encounter?
I guess I'm gonna leave the owl in the house.
Okay. Yeah, you'll probably be able to teach it later tonight. Or even later today. Dungeon delving, tends to take a few hours, but just a few hours, so, per day.
Yeah, she goes down, but she doesn't, like, feel any sense of urgency, because, you know, she doesn't know anything about... I don't know.
Right.
Does Pavla know anything about Sumiko?
Not yet. He was planning on having this conversation with you this morning.
Mm-hmm.
In the morning.
Yep, so,
Signafer pain in the Hast had other ideas.
Yep. So, you guys, yeah, it's this one. Yeah. So yeah, Dr. Devino, you wake everyone up, and I assume you inform them of the situation?
I give them the basics, yeah.
Cool. Is anyone else aware of Sumiko's current? Okay, yeah. So you wake everyone up and you start gathering everyone together. As you're going about doing that, Pavla arrives. So if you'd like to explain that, everyone is now there. So that's...
All right, I will do so. And in particular, explain the plan to Pavla.
Mm-hmm.
That we would like to convince him to let us purchase Sumiko from him, and she's the best talker.
Pavla kind of narrows her eyes at that.
We're not gonna keep her. It's the only way we can we can free her.
Wait, what?
Can I keep her?
Yeah.
You're allowed to stay with the group. I'm not. We don't own her. We want her to be free. Is the end goal here? Is what I'm saying.
The residents of this area of the world are very heavy set against slavery and people who own slaves.
Look, Dude's a Kerchot who I would rather stab. I'd rather pin to that wall with my sword. But
She
if
slowly takes her rapier out.
But if he's got if he's got pointing at the ring, that kind of magic lying around, I don't think we can take him. So at this point, the best thing to do, buy her freedom. Yeah, I don't like it any more than anyone else, but I think it's the best plan we got right now. Plus, there's no guaranteeing, even if we did kill him, that wouldn't cause the entire Hell Knight Order to come after us. Because he sounds pretty high up there. So at this point, playing their game, I think, is the best move. And you're the best one to convince them that I want to buy her for just reasons. No offense, it's probably the best move, though. It kind of seemed like the kind of guy who would do that.
Pavla doesn't look happy.
I'm not happy with it either. If it was my choice, I'd burn the entire lot to the ground. But I don't get that choice, and this is the hand we've been dealt.
She pinches the bridge of her nose. I don't know if anybody would notice if she threw away her symbol of Abadar or not. I don't know if that's something people would notice about her, because they don't really.
I mean, if you want everyone to roll perception checks.
Sure. 4 of you roll perception checks.
I'm assuming you'd need higher than a 20, which I did not get.
Okay.
I rolled an 18 plus
I rolled a
something.
9. I rolled a 10 plus 9, so 19.
Ooh.
25.
25. Magdalena?
Oh. That is a 5 plus 7, 12.
Yeah, Dr. Devino and
No,
you guys think, oh, Pavla. I was like, oh, it's Pavla. That's something. I think she changed her clothes or something. New haircut. Sumiko, yeah, she's no longer wearing her holy symbol.
Do I have any idea what what all this entails?
The symbol she wore was the symbol of the god of mercantile, of money, of merchants, of that sort of thing.
Who is that? Who Abadar is?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so for whatever reason, Pavla has chosen not to wear it today. Yeah.
Look. So, there's Hell Knights. And the heck? She's like, because this is all news to her at this point.
Yeah.
Frickin'. Okay. Give me a minute.
That's fair.
Oh gosh. When were we doing this?
Well, we were doing it 4 days from now.
20 minutes.
But now...
You presume, yeah.
For some reason, he's changed his mind on when he wishes to meet.
Pavla looks at the doctor and says, "Are you sure he's willing to sell?"
Won't know until we ask.
So, have they, given her the lowdown on, the clandestine meetings and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So, as far as I can see it from what you've told me, it seems like this guy doesn't want us to know that he exists. How do you think he's going to respond when we suddenly show up and it's like, yo, I want to buy your secret spy that you've been setting on us?
Lawfully.
Yeah, lawfully purchase it.
He's going to respond lawfully.
Oh man, look. Just things that guys do. What they think a girl's pretty. I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about you.
Did you just call Dr. Devino pretty?
No.
No, I'm saying...
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, she's saying...
No, I'm saying I'm not talking about what your motives are. I'm talking about
The
what
ship
his
has been
motives
solidified.
It's not my motives. I'm saying that's how we play that angle. That's the question you asked.
No, how do
No,
we
no,
explain?
no.
How do we explain to her master?
How do we explain what?
How do we explain to her master that we want to put her in her at risk because she revealed who she's working with and that they're having a meeting?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Play it.
I'm saying it looks suspect.
I'm saying...
He's likely to scry me anyway.
I'm saying, if we have it that I've had the hots for her this whole time and wanted to pursue that, and then got informed that she has a master that owes her and owns her, and then the only way for me to get what I want is to pay her. That's an angle that's stupid and that I think we can play with without him freaking out. If not, we deal with that hand to deal when it's dealt to us.
Okay, so she pinches her nose again. She turns to Sumiko. Sumiko.
Yes.
Were you supposed to say to anyone that you were owned by someone?
I'm guessing that's a no.
That was not in your instructions.
Yeah, it was never brought up.
Your instructions, your instructions were to gather information about the undead.
My instructions are to gather information on the going.
And what was his reaction to you being with us?
Unpleasant, but sorry, I'm serving as the...
Yeah, that's fine, Yeah.
Unpleasant, he was not pleased, but recognized it as an opportunity since they had run into some of the undead and maybe they'd run into more.
We may be able to also play it to be able to convince him. If I continue gathering the information that he wants, perhaps pose it as after we put that in with the deal, we'll still continue to gather information, or I'll continue information, but once I'm done investigating this area, he will release me.
No. Here's the deal. We can get her free today. We get her free today.
As you said, we don't want a bunch of Hell Knights on our ass. All I'm saying is if there's a chance that he doesn't want to sell her, and then he sees us as a threat.
Well, Megs, get your skeletons and the figure ready.
Okay, those are words that I didn't expect to hear.
Get your skeletons and the automaton ready. Look, if we gotta fight, we'll have to fight. I don't like it, it's plan B, but it's what I'm willing to go with.
Okay, she turns around, faces the wall, she scrubs her face for a second, licks her hands, pushes back her fur a bit. I was like, okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, so I think the plan is this room. Mags, you and the army hold up on that door. Jing, you hold up on that door. Me and Pavlo will hold up on this door.
Wait, which?
Sorry, you are at that one, Jing.
I don't see the arrow.
Oh, it's the one.
Sorry,
across,
this one. This one. This one. Do you see it now?
There it is.
What? It is one.
Oops.
I forget how to lay an arrow.
I don't know why. I had a really
But there
hard
it
time
is.
seeing the.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Oh, there's the animated object.
It's not like purple's a hard color to see.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay, so you guys are gonna be.
Yes, you have the purple and black arrows pointing to it.
Is Lucy also going to be a part of this?
No, I'm keeping her as far away as possible.
I was gonna say it's like just to have another person with a crossbow, but it's like nope. Okay. Yeah.
I have all my spells ready.
Okay, we're ready. So, yeah, the time. I'll wait for Pavla to get into place.
Okay. Where am I supposed to be? Am I having a conversation with this guy, or am I guarding the door?
He's not gonna show up, and if he sees someone, so you're gonna be in hiding first. So, actually, I'm gonna use these rolls because I have them. So the allotted time comes, and interesting. And Sumiko, you begin to feel the thing from before again. Do you wish to resist? I might as well ask.
No.
I am legally required to ask you.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh wow. So. Whew. Shortly after, you have this. Yeah, you feel this. A teleportation effect. A teleportation appears behind you, where there is space, and.
Oh, I was facing that way.
Oh, yeah, good. Sorry, yeah, it's behind you to me.
Oh!
And, yeah. I am just, going to get this ready.
17 Hell Knight tokens.
Yeah. What you guys see... Well, you guys don't see anything. You guys hear something happening, and then what Signafer Hast does immediately is, as soon as he sees you, Sumiko, he's like, I need whatever information you have.
Pavla looks uncertainly at the doctor.
Things are getting bad. I need what you have, and I need to get back now.
We ran into a bit of an issue as we delved further.
I don't care. Things are moving. I need the information. What have you got?
It was a menagerie. There is no new information.
Damn. He turns around and pays. Whoops, I picked you up.
Yes, you did. I'm like, oh no, he's taking me with her.
No, yeah, he paces back. This is not good. What have you been doing this whole time?
Trying to get through another part of the maze. This isn't a simple area that you can walk through. Oh dear, she's getting sassy now that she knows what's.
Oh no.
There's still more of this place to explore, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We are close to another area.
Good, huh? Okay. Have they told you anything about? Have they told you anything about these creatures?
Have they? I don't.
No. Unless
yeah.
Unless you guys want to retcon that. Unless you guys want to have a flashback about that.
I mean, I think they might have said, "Oh yeah, we're familiar with
Yeah.
route." In which case, they're familiar with such creatures, but they have no new information.
We'll keep questioning them. We need as much information on them as possible.
I look at the doctor.
And we need it yesterday.
Very well.
I'm reaching for the door handle.
Yeah, I sorry. I physically did a head motion to indicate for you to open the door.
I will say at this moment, he has a start.
Why didn't you ask us yourself?
Yeah, I will say at this moment, and no, not yet. So you're making that motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, the doctor's worst stat is A, wisdom, and B, there's very strong multiple motivations behind him doing this action. It's not the correct action, but it's what he would do.
Okay, Pavlik moves to open the door.
Okay. Sumiko, you suddenly see his head flinch to his left, your right.
I look over.
As the door opens.
There's a rat coming in.
And a who-man.
This is the figure you see.
Is it not the thing on the token?
It is. The token is so that he has one, but I couldn't figure out a good way to get that image onto a token.
Oh, he's not nearly as pretty boy as original.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Yeah, his token is much.
Oh, I assumed I assumed we were dealing with anime pretty boy. I can't tell who I hate more.
He has drawn.
Just to describe it for the chat, he has the look of a middle-aged, scruffy nerf herder, but not in a good way.
I'm just think of him as anime pretty boy.
You can tell like he's probably the youngest one of the people. Like he's probably the one that cares most about what he like in the area.
Yeah, he has drawn his. Yeah, he basically drew his sword as well. He has drawn his sword already, and he has one hand stretched out in front of him.
Okay.
No. Jing, the point for you guys was to come in if we lay down the signal.
Okay.
And
Then
we
I'm
need
still
guns
hiding.
blazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sumiko, is this your master?
Yes.
She's just trying to play it off as if this is status quo.
Sumiko, who the hell are the? And then a quick realization looks over at him.
It's good to meet you, Pavla. She extends a hand.
He doesn't.
Togovnik.
He very cautiously. He puts his. He gauges the two of you. He notes the look on Dr. Devino's face. So I'm not even gonna roll for sense motive. I think it's pretty apparent.
He's gonna try and hide it, okay? I would like to at least have the opportunity to fail the bluff check. Thank you very much.
Sure, make me a bluff check.
Or diplomacy to try and keep a neutral expression.
Does Pavla have to make a bluff check?
What did he do?
Hey, look, I rolled a 3 fair and square, okay? So with a bluff of -1, that's a 2.
Yeah, he
I got
knows
a
it pretty
9
easily.
plus 14. That is numbers.
Okay.
25. 23.
3.
I can't number. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, he does take note of Devino's expression, but puts his sword away. I am Signafer Hast of the Hell Knight Order of the Gate. I am anger. I am
angry.
I am anger.
By this turn of events, but given the situation, I suppose this saves me some time. I require you to tell me everything you know about the undead you have found that have shards of green crystal inside of them.
How much do
Oh,
you
nasty.
do you know anybody in the Order of the Nail? I know an NPC from another campaign. Does that
You actually mentioned the Order of the Nail.
No, because the doctor
Okay.
doesn't know anything. That is entirely Joel.
Metagaming.
Joel having
Yes.
run a campaign where one of the ally NPCs is an Order of the Nail member.
Sweet. Oh, I wonder if it's one of the ones I know, because...
Yeah.
Alright, never... Things.
No. Ah!
Yeah.
Okay, so Pavla like looks at him quizzically and says, "Huh, we've run into a few of them. They're not very nice, are they?"
No, they're not. Are you planning on sticking around here long?
Just until we get to the end. She's like examining her fingernails.
Then you might be running into a lot more of them.
As expected.
No, not as expected. We've received reports of a large amount of them gathering near the Emerald Spire. For the sake of I hope for the sake of the town and the people in this area, but if you insist for your own sakes, I hope you will tell me all that you know.
For our own sake.
Are you threatening
Did
me,
the army
Master
of
Hell
undead?
Knight?
Was the army
Sir.
is the army of undead not a good enough is a potential army of undead not a good enough reason to be concerned for yourself?
I mean, it's more pay for us. I'm just.
Who said that?
Somebody in an entirely another dimension.
Yeah. I kind of imagine that would be something she would say.
High perception.
But yeah. Yeah, so what's your response?
So you need us to give you information then.
I do believe that's what I asked.
How about I offer you a deal, sir?
Oh god, we're getting into a fight.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're about to piss him off.
A deal?
We've become quite fond of your ward. Or should I say,
well, actually,
one of us
yeah,
has become very fond of your ward.
Yeah. Quick aside. Between those sentences of trade and the reasons there, it's like, of course, adventurers, of course. Very well. What do you desire? And then you say the thing.
Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah. He looks
Your ward
over
for
at.
information.
He looks over at Sumiko. Are you aware of just how much He pauses.
How much of
He
what,
looks
sir?
at Sumiko.
I return his gaze.
Yeah. So this is what you have been planning this whole time.
Not exactly.
Planning, sir. Whatever do you mean?
Oh, please. The very fact that she happened to be alone at this moment while you happened to be behind the door, and there are more there's another individual over there, and I can see the fire beyond that door back there. By the way, he rolled a 20 on his perception.
Oh, I told you that's really good perception! He heard you, Joel!
This has been set up quite well. If for something as mundane as the purchase of a slave.
Um, if the doctor flinches at all, I kind of lay a hand in front of him, like, hold
With a
up.
2 to his bluff check, I think he flinches.
No,
It just seems
He's-
to me that there's something that you need.
it's
And
like,
there's something that we want.
yeah.
Yeah.
Behind that door, she points a finger towards the one that Magdalena and the other guys are behind. We have a very knowledgeable person about these things, these emerald zombies of sorts. We can give you the information you need. You stop the hordes, we get what we want.
Hmm. Very well. Bring her forth. I shall hear what she has to say.
Whoa, that was a
Do I
good
take-
perception check.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, it was really good. Very well, bring them forth. I shall hear what
Bring
they have.
them forth. The door is opened by a golem and a zombie.
I shall hear what they have. Yeah. I shall hear what they have to say.
Am I to
Thunk,
take-
thunk.
Am I to take that to say you agree?
If you have information that is
And she
vital to my
comes
assistance,
walking in.
then yes, I am willing.
She just saunters
can
in with
buy-
a bunch of undead servants.
You can buy a slave with that information. He does shoot a glare at Sumiko.
Now that he knows I'm here, I am gonna move to
Pavla extends
way.
a hand forward, knowing his lawful self. Deal.
Honey,
She extends a
honey.
hand.
Yeah. Deal.
Does she shake?
Oh, I'm.
Yes.
Okay.
Sumiko, when he glares at Sumiko, she's smiling back, but you can tell that like her eyes are daggers.
Hmm. He has a few daggers of his own.
I think I've seen that look a few times from Haley and the.
Then we have come to some kind of reason.
Yeah. He looks at you. He looks at your entourage, as it were. He doesn't seem particularly phased.
I did not expect him to be.
Yeah.
Not even
I
at
think
the Emerald Automaton.
Nope. He's seen that before.
Oh,
If
right,
it counts
right,
for anything, Jing is the theatrics of the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Magdalena should at least get the chance to roll intimidation.
Yeah. This man had to fight a devil in order to become a Hell Knight in the first place, and he's had 7 levels of experience since then. He's fine.
I was gonna say Magdalena was not addressing the comment to him. She was talking to the doctor.
Tell him whatever he wants to know.
You adventurers have had encounters with these undead that have bits of green crystal in them. What
It's
have
true.
you been able to notice any strange behaviors? How do they respond to things? Do they have any weaknesses? Any unusual strengths? What sort of tactical information can you give me about them?
Unusual strength. For starters, they appear to be completely autonomous and capable of intricate thought patterns, not a hallmark of undead, such as the lower echelons of variety. I also believe that I know their source, their origin, though I cannot say for sure. Our studies here have led me to believe that this place and the Emerald Spire further are the um, refuge of an outcast of a society that existed long ago called Asland, a powerful sorcerer who I believe mastered necromancy and may still live on or exist to this day in some capacity through the necromantic arts that they have deployed.
Wait, so we're talking about a lich?
Possible.
You're saying a lich might be in command of these undead.
I think it possible, although I cannot confirm my suspicions as of yet.
That is troublesome.
The crystalline fragments which they contain have some similarities to the properties of a ruin to the north. You may have heard of the Emerald Spire.
He nods.
When I myself attempted to look into the Emerald Spire, I saw, looking back at me, a becrowned face of an ancient creature, one that I believe to be, how did you put it? A lich.
Crowned skull. He grimaces as he mutters that. And a look comes over his face. Clearly that imagery is something he's familiar with for some reason.
Other than that, we have only had two, I think, encounters with the creatures themselves. They are broken as easily as they are made in apparency, but they are intelligent, and it would seem that they recall some measure of the life that they had before.
Do you have any theories as to why?
I know that the being that I suspect to be responsible for this, the Aslanti sorcerer, was very strong indeed, and that when I reached out and touched the mind of the thing that sits in the Emerald Spire, as far as I'm aware, I encountered a potency that was paralleled only in my experience by abilities which transcend that which you know as magic into a realm that touches. She holds her hand up to her head, and one finger, just like the index, she taps her temple. Powers locked deep within the mind.
Is there anything else? Do they have any strengths or weaknesses you've noticed?
As I said, their greatest strength, in my belief, is that they can think, which is not a common trait amongst the undead. Moreover, that they are capable of some kind of communication beyond that which is natural, which allows them to move in unison, and perhaps even to coordinate their motions with each other rapidly. I think that they are tactically a great danger as they are adaptable and fast. Other than that, we detected no weaknesses in the ones that we did engage with ourselves, other than those common to the undead.
Also, Pavla says, they seem to have the ability to turn corpses. Outside of the influence of this lich.
We do not know that for sure.
Gaharl.
Those that we found may have triggered the lich's mechanisms within or encountered him themselves. We do not know. We also know that we found them in a chamber that was originally supposed to have housed one of the sorcerer's uh, servants, a powerful mage in their own right, who may have themselves been responsible, and moreover may be responsible for the entire rash of these crystalline empowered undead. As I said, we are not thoroughly sure because we have not thoroughly investigated the entirety either of this ruin or the one to the north, where I believe more clues will be contained. Unfortunately, our adventuring party, if you will forgive me saying so, Doctor, is not yet so well equipped that I would venture into that dungeon. An appropriate term, as I have recently found out due to the fact that it is a fortress with a tower at the center.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I see.
You, on the other hand, seem very well equipped, although your insinuation is that you are currently dealing with much greater problems. Although I would argue that
Our
the
numbers
source of these things may be a greater problem still.
If the Order bothered to send as many knights as we deserve here, we could handle all of the problems. As it is, we handle all the problems we can reach.
If there are resources you would be willing to provide our party in extent of what you absolutely need, I am sure that we could be of some use in your research, as it coincides with our own. The
I think
gently
I'm already,
burning skeleton stands up near the altar.
I think I'm already providing you with enough resources, as it were.
I merely offered in the interest of expediting the information which we may be able to glean that will not divert your own forces away from the main struggle.
Yes, yes, of course. Yes, yes, of course. I know how adventurers work. Sure that if you are needed, an offer will be extended.
I await the offer that you will inevitably bring to us with great anticipation.
Yeah, that earns a glare. It's a pittance of information, but I suppose it's a fitting price for a treacherous slave. He walks forward to you, Sumiko,
Okay.
and yeah, reaches out his hand.
But before he does anything, Pavla
In response,
turns. No, hold on. But before, when he walks forward, Pavla walks over to his side, where she's standing, and says, "Take care to remember she's no longer yours."
Not
She is no longer mine once the transaction is complete.
You got your information.
The transaction is complete when I remove what makes her my slave. You have paid me, now I will deliver the goods.
I hold up my hand.
Yeah, he reaches out for your hand with the ring on it. Yeah.
No
Holding
more
it in one.
smile, just daggers.
Yeah. Holding your hand in one, and he waves a hand over the other one and mutters something. There. He slides it off. shall have a different and perhaps better use for this. Very well. You no longer need to. You are no longer my concern. He turns and looks at you, Devino. Do with her whatever you wish.
Oh no.
He turns and then turns and walks away.
No, it's just a. I know what the doctor would do in that moment, even trying to play it smart.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, I would be told try to back.
No. It's not what you think.
Oh, okay.
He's not that stupid. So making sure before he goes away he can hear it. He turns to Sumiko and he goes, "You are free, as all people should be."
And with that, he teleports away.
After he leaves, Pablo's like, I need to go take a shower.
Sumiko sighs, and after Pavla runs off and stomps off and says that,
the room, but she's like, ah!
She starts walking.
I touched him.
I need to go stab something. Yeah, Sumiko's about to get a lot more snarky now.
Mags, do we have eggs?
I'm sure there are a plethora of small fowl in the city above. I can collect eggs.
I need some breakfast after that.
I need a bath. And Papa starts making her way out.
Breakfast, eggs,
Wherever
right.
Is.
Out of character, would you like some purifying fire?
Aldi and I should be able to handle it, I think. The flaming skeleton and she will walk towards the...
Alright. We're gonna go get some supplies. The rest of you make yourself comfortable.
Sumiko's going to go see what kind of day it is outside. And if it's nice, she's just gonna flop into the grass.
Is she
time.
Whoa!
I was trying to throw Pablo over there. There we go.
So is everybody going up simultaneously then, or are we going out?
I guess we're gonna go buy. We're going to go buy breakfast. Is the thing. So I tell Lucy to come with us. We'll go buy breakfast.
She agrees. How did it go?
Got her for a much lower price than we thought we were going to.
I was very.
Pablo gives finger guns.
You give finger crossbows. Thank you very much.
How does one?
Pavla gives finger boomsticks.
Finger boomsticks.
Oh, I figured out how to do a finger crossbow.
They're finger wands of fireball.
How?
I'll send you a picture.
Nice.
I'm very happy to report that the doctor did not, in fact, end with any of his limbs ripped off by a raving Hell Knight.
Yeah. Would you guys like to know what level he is? No.
I'm okay.
I'm curious.
14, I think, if I did the math correctly.
I'm going to
14 between 12 and 14.
Yeah, so it's
It's up there.
Whew.
It would have been a fight. That's the important thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's entirely possible that could have gone very poorly. So, all involved, including him. So yeah.
I mean, we could have mobbed him with constructs to start. That would have been good. Soften him up a little. At the very least, until he destroyed Audi, he'd be taking damage from her aura. So
yeah, his class is a little ridiculous. So at least the stuff I was able to.
I'm pretty sure he knows all the spells, right?
No, he's a mystic theurge. Meaning that instead of having the multi-class, the spell levels of a multi-class 7th level wizard, 7th level cleric, he has the spells and the spells of a 10th level of both. So
I mean, it basically comes down to this, because yes, he's one person, but with the version of the rules, with the version of the rules we're working with, we have a very high action economy. Yeah. So he would get one, like, until he started summoning stuff, he would have gotten 1 action per turn. So there's a chance we could have done a lot of stuff to him in 1 turn.
And given the spells that I've given him, there's a chance he could have done a lot of stuff to you guys in 1 turn.
No, I'm not saying he wouldn't insta-kill someone, but he would run into the same problem Magdalena does, which is only being able to use a spell a turn.
Well, the other thing about Mystic Theurges is he can use spell slots from either class to cast spells from either class.
Wait, he casts spells?
Yeah. He has a sword, but...
Does he have the thing where he has to use word? Like...
Yeah. So he has...
That's what I'm trying...
Well, he has the spell slots for Cleric and Wizard, but if he wants to spend more... but if he uses up all his Wizard spell slots, he can spend his Cleric spell slots to use the same level Wizard spells.
I mean...
So what you're saying is all we need is a scroll of silence.
Yeah.
Would bungle affect...
Yeah, basically.
And this fight would get a whole...
Not bungle, sorry. Aphasia.
Aphasia?
Provided he falls. Provided it affects him, yeah. That's how it goes with spellcasters.
Oh, good!
Yep.
I could just be like, you're a dribbling idiot now.
Yep.
Imagine how many times she's wanted to do that over.
Yeah. It's entirely possible.
Is aphasia the lower version of Feeble Mind, or just this version, this game's version? Oh, it's a 1 spell, so yeah.
So yeah. You guys have all gone to go get. Have all gone up into town. Are you gonna just stop at one of the taverns and have something, and just get something, or?
Would they be accommodating to Pavla taking a bath first?
Or are you getting the supplies to go back and make it yourself?
No. We'll pay. We'd pay someone else to do it.
Yeah, let's wait. Let's have. Pavla will have her bath. We shall have a honey burn.
Do you guys? Which one do you guys
say? She shall have her bath and eat it too.
I don't want to eat my bath.
No.
Out of curiosity, which inn do you guys go to? The Green Forest Inn that you were staying at before, or do you go to the Thirsty Ogre that the Castellan took you guys to that one time?
Which one had the better breakfast?
The Thirsty Ogre.
Oh, we'll go with whatever has the better breakfast.
Yeah. That was the one that was just like the very sloppy pile of excellent, hot, greasy food. Okay. So you guys, while you guys are enjoying your, when you guys come in, one of the things that happens is, the innkeeper,
before that happens, I just want to establish, because I think Sumiko said that she was purposely going to go and like spend some time in the grass and like not be there with everyone for a couple of minutes. So the doctor would tell them to go get them a table, and he lights up and is waiting outside for when Sumiko joins them.
All right, cool.
Pavla looks a little bit like out of her element a little bit. I guess the word would be. I don't know. Like she looks kind of nervous.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there we go. This person. I should get a token for the other guy, but oh well. Yeah. This is the more rough and tumble tavern, but Pavla, you do know that the half-orc who runs this place does make a good meal, obviously.
So that's not the reason she's nervous, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she's very pleased that you guys have chosen to eat at her establishment again, and eagerly seats you guys and gets started. Except for do you guys say anything when? Well, okay. Let me back up. Sumiko, I take it you eventually that you do go and join them at some point eventually.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys say anything to each other, or do you just kind of exchange greetings and go on in?
No. The doctor's definitely gonna wait until she comes by. And he goes, air tastes sweeter, doesn't it?
So much sweeter.
You don't have to stick around with us if you don't want. You're free. You can do whatever you want.
I want to. I want to stay.
All right.
These people are unlike any I've met before.
Yeah.
Well, given his comments, I take it he's not used to hanging around with a bunch of good-for-nothing rat catchers like us.
Pavla.
Sumiko
stabs her head in that direction.
Pavla inside, sitting at the table. Pavla suddenly sneezes.
Yeah, so I say that to Sumiko.
Sumiko, you know that Hell Knights, being figures of law, do not like the very chaotic and the chaotic nature that adventurers have just by who they are. It's like they're not really part of a society. They're not. Yeah, they do things for money rather than because for the betterment of, say, civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because slavery.
Yeah,
Who?
they
Civilization.
complain. Yeah, they have the nerve to complain that they pay a tax of all the things they find for using their fortress as a base. So yeah, the Hell Knight disposition towards adventures is not a good one. That he's probably you've heard him vent about that before.
Right. Oh boy.
It's like they understand the necessity of adventurers, but they do their darndest to try to make them play by their rules.
Yeah.
When they can.
Well, let me be the first then to ask you to make your own decision for yourself. He pulls out a pack. Do you want to smoke?
Bad.
Oh gosh. She furrows her brow, and remembering the smell of some of them.
The one he's smelling right now actually smells very nice. It is a mix of it has a strong citrus smell to it, with maybe a hint of lilac.
Well, this is one of those situations where it's like, I, the player, but what would the character do?
Dunno.
Just say no.
Actually, yeah, she's probably going. Yeah, she grins at him and She looks at him and grins and says, "I'm looking forward to saying this for a long time." No, she turns around.
He smiles, expecting that was the case in the answer all along, and heads in with her.
Yeah, yay.
Which seems like a good place to end it because it's getting late.
Yep.
Well,
and it gives me
okay.
a really good place to come in on something next week.
Oh, but okay.
Yeah.
Pavla
Hey,
kind of
Pax.
wanted to say something at the table.
Oh,
Then write it down and remember it for next week.
What did you wish to
I do
say?
want. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it a long scene that you wanted to do?
No, she just wanted to ask a question.
Ah,
I think that would be
question.
good.
Am I okay to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of good to
Yeah, sure.
have a little. What's the word?
Denouement.
Denouement? No, yeah. Okay, so that they're eating and they're having, I guess they're having fun, and Pavla like stops herself for a second and she like looks almost somber for a moment and says, and she looks up at the rest of them and says, "Are we friends?"
Sumiko, I'm assuming is next to Pavla because Pavla was very nice at the beginning. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, she's not really a touchy person yet. But looks at her and smiles a little. Says, Pavla, if I have ever had a friend in this life, it has been you.
She smiles and she looks at the other.
I take a long drink of whatever I have. Whatever the Pathfinder equivalent to coffee may be.
Coffee.
It's coffee.
Oh, thank God.
Actually, hold on. hang on a minute.
It is. There's coffee. I have it.
Yeah.
You made me go shopping. I went shopping.
Yes.
Yeah. This is. There's a few dregs in this coffee, but it's good coffee.
Joel will tell you I'm a bit of a heathen when that works fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jing takes a long sip of the. I have not been with a group of people who I haven't had the for a long time. I would be most upset if I had to leave this one. And if that's what friends are, then I suppose that's what it is.
To the people that we live and die with. Huh?
Indeed.
And to the life we choose.
That I'll drink to the life we choose.
I raise my
Pavla.
I raise my mug, looking at Pavla, like kind
Pavla,
of like a.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Yeah, Pavla raises her glass.
And the people we choose to live it with.
Darn it, I was gonna say it, but I wasn't sure if any of them were going to start talking.
Okay. Magdalena beat you to it. She's the badass.
Yeah, and as they're clinking glasses and drinking and going back to the way to the conversations and things that were happening, Pavla takes a almost sad look at the doctor and goes back to her.
The doctor did not answer her question. Your question. Pavlo will remember that.
No.
Doctor just let the
And that's
timer count down.
Alright.
That's all.
It was good. I like that.
Cool.
I have something to share specifically with you, Caleb, on
Sure.
my note card for the Emerald Spire.
Yeah.
Because when you said it, that's all I could think.
I want to see.
No, we're all curious.
Emerald
Hang on, I was busy with experience notes. Where is it? It's yes, down here. Thank you. Nice.
Not too many people anymore remember even that classification exists, but
Yeah, the Technic style. Man. Nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. I get. Okay, excellent. Everyone can take 1,000 experience for that session.
Yay!
Ooh.
Guys, I'm free. I can let out the snark. You said 1,000?
Uh-huh.
Yay! What did I get for this quarter level?
Nothing. You get nothing.
Okay, well that's
This is the
not
one
true.
where this is the one where you get your saves, right?
I have to check. I don't know.
Let's see, this is the first 5th quarter level, right? Is it that?
Sumiko, yeah, you have hit your first quarter level.
For
So
level
you get
5, right?
Yeah. You get your base attack bonus for the level.
Ooh. Is that a
Yes,
plus
it
1?
Let me look up sorcerer real
Oh,
quick.
okay, it's okay. I can get it. I was wait.
Oh yeah, I do get my saves. What am I right now? I was what was I heading towards? I was heading toward another barbarian level. Yeah, I think I was.
Great. I tried scrolling down on Chrome. Yes. My BAB stays the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't be getting anything this level. Wait a second.
She
No,
was so
maybe that's
outraged
right.
she cut out.
Oh.
I just get an increase to my fort.
Okay.
Wait a second.
What?
No.
Trying to figure this out.
You got this, I believe.
I'm level 4, right?
5.
I am level 5.
You were leveling towards 6.
Yeah.
Did I make that note right? Caleb.
Huh?
Okay. It says that I have 6. Oh man, I didn't write this down right at all. Oh no.
We'll go over your character sheet later this week and make sure it's correct.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Let me get my hard copy because I keep those separate for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll need to go over the whole thing and make sure that's all correct. Yeah. So, thank you guys. I was hoping that we might get to at least one more room of the dungeon, but
I enjoyed everything that we did. It was great.
Yeah.
Really, just this one was necessary for reasons of need to get a move on Pavla's story, and this was the place to cap off Sumiko's. So or at least this portion of it.
I think that we made great progress towards a friendship with this Signafer Hast guy.
I think you did as well.
Such friendship.
Oh, such friendships we will have. Honestly, the second that combat was going to break out, I was going to be like, activate Kool-Aid Man. That golem was going through the door. It would have been good times. It would have been good times.
Oh yes.
Very good.
I
Times.
And
totally
we all
messed
would have
this up.
died.
But my
It would've been good
notes
times.
on the other sheet clarify. Guys, I had more spells than I thought I did.
Well done.
Well,
Burned more things.
that's good.
Caleb, that's good.
That's fine. We're just given, over 12 hours of completely tarring up their water supply, and they should probably suffocate to death by now, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I doubt it would have changed our fates much on it. But
Things are definitely happening. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
wait a second.
The
remember that
anemone
noise.
has absorbed all the tar and has become a giant ooze monster.
Oh,
We will now be fighting an ooze anemone shark.
Was an enemy?
who's an enemy?
Yeah.
Who's an enemy?
Hast.
Yes, exactly.
It,
Yeah.
Also, yes, I know there was a glut of needless information about Emerald Spire, but that's like
Foreshadowing.
This
Again,
was the
it's like-
preview.
again, it was like, it's like, this is a story that will happen on its own, but Emerald Spire is a sequel. I need to have things to point to it.
right.
Just a
We need the
teaser.
sequel. Hey, sequel hook.
You got
That's the
this.
word I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm still not sure what you tried to say.
A sequel hook.
Hook.
Yes, a hook.
Hook.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and kill the recording here then. So.
It's a hookah.
Good
Bye
night.
for now.
No. This is radio.